Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Alright, wagwan people. Welcome to this updated video or live stream on what's happening regarding Tropical Depression number 18. I wonder if we all can see. How's the live chat? Alright, very good. Very good. I haven't been live in a long time. Alright, so we're still monitoring Tropical Depression number 18. Look at all of the clouds, the showers, the thunderstorms associated with it. Quite a big system for sure. Definitely have some convection, some rainfall coming into portions of Jamaica as we speak. I'm in St. Thomas right now. I'm definitely getting the rainfall for sure. Feel free to let me know what the weather conditions are like in your area. But before we even jump into it, you know the drill. Like the video, because this teaches the YouTube algorithm that you guys like this content, and it actually pushes the stream out to more persons who are on the path of these systems who like content like this, that we can keep everyone safe as well. Share the live stream with your friends, your coworkers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. The YouTube is telling me that we have a lot of persons who watch who aren't yet subscribed, so subscribe. Why wouldn't you want to be subscribed to Weather Jamaica? And leave a comment down below or leave something in the chat. Let me know what's happening. I'll definitely be reading and answering your questions as we go along. So before we even go into some more information about Tropical Depression number 18, we need to highlight the fact that we're past the peak of hurricane season. The peak is August through to October. I say that at the beginning of each of my videos. People are thinking that I'm saying hurricane season runs from August to October. No, guys, we know that hurricane season runs from June to November, but the peak definitely somewhere between August and October. Well, look at that. We're in November. We're at the beginning of November, and we're getting in on some amount of activity. It's not abnormal to have activity this time of year at all. As a matter of fact, if we look at the cyclone points of origin, all of these yellow dots show where we've had systems forming from November 1 to November 10, and we see that many of them formulate in the southwestern Caribbean. For reference, we see Jamaica right here, so it's not anything foreign. We've seen systems based on data from this time period, 1851 to 2023, so these records go from way back when. This has happened before. It's not like it hasn't happened before. I see comments from people saying, what's going on? This is man-made thing because this doesn't happen in November and blah, blah, blah. But it definitely does happen. And we've seen the records. They have the records to prove it. Lots of storms have formed this time period from November 1 to November 10 in the southwestern Caribbean, pushed out towards the northeast to Jamaica. But we see what this system is doing. It's somewhere right here. And it's going to be pushing more so towards the northwest in that direction. So it's not abnormal at all. And this is typical of November tracks in general, somewhere from the southwestern Caribbean. And the fact that we have so much warm water down there. Look at the sea surface temperature anomalies. And this just came out on November 3. Look at the yellows, the oranges across the entire Atlantic. For reference, we see Jamaica right here. And we also have the La Nina coming in nicely. The cooler than average sea surface temperatures across the eastern to the central Pacific. So it's definitely setting the stage for bad weather across the Atlantic, shutting down the Pacific in general. We have the lack of wind shear that usually tears these tops of these thunderstorms off. And it's not only how warm the waters are at the surface of the ocean, at the skin of the ocean, but even the deeper we go. Look at the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and we definitely have what's to become Rafael sitting over some of the warmest waters in the entire world right now. Look at the reds to the south of Jamaica. Definitely a bad setup in general. Alright, let's see what's going on regarding the comments or the chat I'm here. I'm definitely here. Like up the live stream and let me know what's happening. Only 53 likes so far. Like it up. Captain Duncan saying, me need little rain. Is it that hot or dry in your area? What parish is that, Captain Duncan? Audrey Anderson stating cloudy here in South Lamar. It's cloudy in my area as well with some amount of rainfall. The Vibes Queen. Sounds like you're having every... Yes, I was just having some rainfall, Vibes Queen. Sounds like it's cooled down now. I'm in St. Thomas. Another chat here. Medea. Hi, sir. Yeah, man, rain can bust anytime, Miss Anderson. What time will we start to feel the impacts of the system? Trust me, it has already started in some parishes, and I'll definitely be showing you. See how many tabs I have open? Definitely quite the thorough live stream as we head up to the 4 p.m. advisory that's going to be coming out from the Hurricane Center. So we're still working with the 1 p.m. advisory. The 4 p.m. advisory is coming out shortly. It's 3:33 p.m. right now. We're definitely going to be going live, and I'll definitely be pausing the live streams at some point to give you some posts on my other social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Alright. People keep saying nothing is coming. Well, they're gonna see tonight when we get some tremendous rainfall. Definitely some flooding, some bad weather in general. It's going to be ridiculous. Ridiculous for sure. Alright, some more comments over here. Quante, England stating rain's falling really hard at my yard. What parish is that, Quante, England? Alright, very good. Many of you guys are hearing me loudly and clearly. That is very good. Thank you very much, Vibe Stream Comedy. What we expect, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you all shortly. Alright, Nathan asking the right question. What time will Rafael make impact? I'm coming with all of the details shortly. Yes, Latanya, light could definitely go away. It's a tropical storm. We're going to be having some strong wind. We're going to be having some heavy rainfall. It's definitely going to be a bad situation in general for sure. So let us go and get the stats. We're done with Patty. That has turned now to a remnant low. We still have that area that has a 20% chance of cyclone formation to the north of the eastern, well, to the north of Hispaniola in general. We can see Tropical Depression 18 right here to the south of Jamaica. We're going to be zooming in shortly on the statistics. But let us take a look at the latest visible satellite images so that we can see what's taking place. We can definitely see that spin around the system. Look at the feeder bands feeding into the system. The center is somewhere right in here for sure, and we can see that it's definitely starting to push into the island. So we've been spared for most of today. Thus far, the system has been slowly taking its time to push northward, using up all of the very warm waters of the Caribbean as we speak. I mean, look at all of these sparkling yellow dots. We've definitely been getting in a lot of thunderstorms out to sea to the south of the Dominican Republic right there. You can see some thunderstorms across western Jamaica too right there. And the system is definitely still strengthening as we speak. Definitely going to be making it up even more so into the tropical storm status than anything else. Definitely going to be causing heavy rainfall. Flash flooding is definitely possible, and it's definitely concerning that it's happening during the night time. Persons can be in their sleep and then we have flooding coming in, or maybe landslides. We know so many people live in flood prone areas or on hillsides, and the fact that even persons who live in the northeastern portion of the island, Portland, St. Mary, have been getting in on that moist northeasterly flow, the relief rainfall, and they're in for a lot more rainfall. It just spells bad news in general. We saw what happened recently in Upper St. Andrew with the landslide, and they've already been getting it in St. Mary and Portland as well. So many chat comments, boy. No rain in Old Harbor, says Paulette Francis. The next storm name, Brilliant 22. The next storm name after Rafael is Sarah. We have it right here. I think it's somewhere right here. I have millions of tabs open for a reason. So after Rafael comes Sarah, then we have Tony, Valerie, William. Let's see if we actually exhaust the names on the list. Rain just started in Falmouth. It's pouring down here. I'm sure it's definitely pouring down there. Ruth Shaw. Let's see what's taking place on the latest infrared satellite image of Jamaica, the latest close-up. We can definitely see the thunderstorms. It's definitely pouring over there. Look at it. It's not only affecting St. James, but definitely Falmouth, Trelawney right here, sections of Hanover and sections of Westmoreland getting on the action. We see the dark thunder, the darkish colors associated with the deepest convection, some thunderstorms. They're definitely getting on that afternoon convection for sure. We see the sparkling white dust that represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. They're definitely getting it as we speak. And look at all of the clouds across central and eastern Jamaica. Not much rainfall within these clouds, more so overcast skies than anything else. The strongest thunderstorms are right there across the western end of the island. And let's just look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images to confirm this. Yes, we know that we have to be using the Cuban Doppler radar because the Jamaican Doppler radar has been done for the longest while. Hopefully they get it sorted out as soon as possible. But we can definitely make out that rainfall on the Cuban Doppler radar. Let's see. Let's reload these images that we have the very latest. Looks like the very latest just came out at 3:30 p.m. and the time is now 3:39. So this just came out 9 minutes ago. And we can definitely make out the heavy rainfall. Look at the yellows into the gold. That represents heavy rainfall on the key on the right. The fuerte. I believe it, when translated from Spanish, it's strong, if not heavy rainfall, and it's definitely lashing portions of Westmoreland, Hanover, section of St. James and Trelawney as we speak. Not seeing much rainfall across southern St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Mary. But we definitely have some rainfall coming into portions of St. Thomas and Portland right now, and there's a lot more where that came from. Look at this. Look at the greens, look at the yellows. All of this representing some moderate, as we can see by the key on the right. Greens and the yellows that represent some heavy rainfall, and look at the direction that they're going. They're moving towards the north and west, coming into the island, and this is just the beginning. This is just the start, because we're going to be getting this all night. Definitely some bad weather in general, flash flooding, landslides, rock slides, you name it. Get yourselves ready for sure. Let's see if we have any more comments coming in. Definitely lots of comments. Let's see. What wind speeds expected in Jamaica? Brilliant, I'm going to be telling you that shortly. Considering that's a tropical storm, definitely anywhere from about 39 miles per hour to 73 miles per hour when calculated to knots. That's 34 to 64 knots for sure. This is as of the latest updates from the Hurricane Center. That's what we're going to be working with though, because within the next 15 minutes they're going to be updating us with what's happening regarding the system, because we're still using the 1 p.m. update. As we can see here, the 1 p.m. update still has the system moving towards the north at 9 miles per hour, packing maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. There we have it right here to the south of us. We saw the clouds. We saw the visible first of all. Let's look at the infrared, the latest infrared, definitely showing us what's happening. We see Jamaica right here starting to get in on some of the action. Look at the deep convection to the south of us. The heaviest weather is still off to our south, and it's starting to come in. Look at the high cold cloud top shearing in from the south. Look at the deep convection right in here. Look at the dark rays, look at the blacks, look at the grays, look at the pinks. Definitely some bad weather in general, and all of that is expected to push into Jamaica tonight. Flash flooding is definitely going to be possible. Don't be surprised if you're having power outages or internet disconnections. It's a tropical storm. We're gonna get tropical storm force winds. We're gonna get freak storm like conditions. Some areas more than others. Some areas flooded more than others. And boy, we just hope for the best. We don't want to hear anything about any loss of life or anything like that. So we definitely have to be on our P's and Q's. Please ensure that you all get in contact with your friends, your relatives, you name it, because who knows how long the power is going to be out for. You know that we can't 100% depend on JPS, not to mention Flow or Digicel with the internet connection. So looking at another infrared, we have numerous satellite images here to look at. This is another one that we're used to from primetime news on TVJ's weather. This is what we're used to. This is what we saw when Evan Thompson used to show us back in the day. Look at the purples, the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the whites. In this satellite image we know represents the deepest convection. Look at all of that to the south of us. When all of that lifts northward tonight into early Tuesday, we're definitely going to be getting it. We're going to be getting the worst of it. Strong rainfall, showers and thunderstorms for sure. Even the rainbow satellite images that many of us love to see, that shows us the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, all of the reds that represents the deepest convection. All of this starting to lift into portions of Jamaica, and we see the low level flow. It's definitely a counterclockwise flow, but all of the deepest convection is definitely going to be lifting into Jamaica tonight for sure. And yes, although the system is expected to move towards the west end of the island like this, the heaviest weather, as we know, is usually on the northern and eastern side of the system, the nastiest part. So look out for the worst weather. If we're on this side, we wouldn't be getting in on much of anything at all. It's already void of rainfall, as we can see there. We're definitely going to be getting it. Rivers might be in spate. Some more land slippages, road breakaways, you name it, in some spots. Some brand new potholes are going to be popping up where you've never seen potholes before. So get ready for all of that taking place for sure. Alright, so taking a look at the latest European model ensembles, the spaghetti plot still in consensus that the system's center should be passing to the south of the island, pushing towards the northwest into the Cayman Islands. Some of them making it up to tropical storm status very soon. We see the greens that represents tropical storm status. The GFS ensemble, something similar. Most of these models making it up towards the west of the island. The yellows that represents hurricane status. Some of them making it up to hurricane status. Let's hope it doesn't make it there. Boy, we can't take the strong winds and the power outages at all. And we're going to be looking at the intensity model guidance next. So we see that it is, or it should already be a tropical storm. I wouldn't be surprised as of the latest update that should come out shortly. We're still seeing the 1 p.m. update. The 4 p.m. update comes out in the next 13-14 minutes, considering that it's 3:46 p.m. right now. We're definitely going to be under a tropical storm. Well, we're under a tropical storm warning already in the blues, as you can see by the key on the bottom, but it's definitely going to be upgraded. Tropical Depression 18 going to be Tropical Storm Rafael for sure. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some kind of an M somewhere in here, maybe close to Cuba. We know the M's represent major hurricane status, anywhere from category 3 to category 5, given the very warm waters, the bath waters of the Caribbean. We see that it's definitely cooling off into the Gulf of Mexico, the east coast of the United States, especially given the cold fronts that have come down, bring some cool air in general. But we see that we have hurricane warnings up for the Cayman Islands. We have a lot of friends or relatives who live there. We have hurricane watches up in the pinks for western Cuba right there. As of right now, it's packing maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. So it's definitely getting there. We know that tropical storm status. basically packs winds of anywhere from 39 to 73 miles per hour. So it's just 4 miles per hour shy of becoming a tropical storm. Definitely going to be a bad situation. Please ensure that you guys like up the live stream, share it with your friends, let people know what's happening. The storm is definitely coming. I would go on TikTok, but boy, I don't know how to TikTok live stream on my computer. I'd have to teach myself to do that, and I don't want to TikTok live stream with my phone at all. My phone is a mess right now. I've done it in the past, but yeah. And then to ask for roses and all of that crap, I'm not interested in the TikTok live thing. Even although I hear the money over there is good, I'll stick with YouTube. Alright, so let us see what's happening. Let us see what's happening on the Euro models. I believe the latest run of the Euro is supposed to be out within this hour, you know, the 12Z run. Supposed to, definitely. Usually comes out between 3 and 4 p.m. It's definitely out now. Let's see what the latest run of the Euro is showing. So we're going to be focusing our attention on the timestamp right here at the top. And we're going to be looking at the moisture right here and see exactly what it does. But before we even do that, let's see what the chat is saying right now. Let's see. I'm using my phone. I can see the comments on my phone right here. Captain Duncan, you're asking if I'm prepared for an outage. Boy, I have a little backup battery thing here that gives me a little electricity for my computer, at least 2 hours worth of it. Back in burial times, I was at a 5-star hotel. That was why I was able to continuously give updates through burial. Imagine planning a whole vacation to a 5-star hotel in Montego Bay that has solar generators, by the way, which explains why I was still online. And their internet was very good because there were so many people at this hotel, and I was still getting very good internet speeds for sure. But boy, it only takes 2 trickles of rain in my area, in my part of St. Thomas, for us to get power outages. So don't be surprised if you guys are not hearing from me, not getting any frequent updates from the YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, because we know these things go in general. Alright, let's see some more comments right here. When will the storm end? Well, considering I just read a comment, a chat here from Latanya asking when will the storm end. Considering that the system should be right here to the west of the island. So let me show you what I mean. So we see it right here to the south of the island. We see the isobars. We see the dark greens that represents up to 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. We see the yellows that represent up to 6 inches of rainfall. Definitely getting ready to push into the island tonight. Look at where it's at, to the southwest of Jamaica. This is valid for 9Z on Tuesday, which is actually 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, early morning. We're starting to get in on the heaviest weather. The dark greens, the yellows, that represents the 5 to 6 inches of rainfall. And it's definitely going to be pushing into the island from south to north. So everything is going to be coming in from the sea to the south of us. Definitely some heavy rainfall for sure, especially for our southern parishes. And we know our southern parishes. We're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas right there. Going out in time, we see that even as we head into Wednesday, as we head into the end of the day on Wednesday, even into Thursday, look at this. The Euro still has a huge string of moisture. Look at where the system should be located, across the eastern or the southeastern Gulf of Mexico to the northwestern tip of Cuba. And we still have a lot of moisture stretching into portions of Jamaica right there. Definitely quite a wet setup in general. And it's not only the Euro that's showing that, but even the GFS. There it is right here. The same position like what the Euro had it. Same time around Thursday morning. We still have a lot of moisture coming into Jamaica. So yes, the system will be out of here by that time, but we still have a lot of rainfall, lots of flash flooding to receive in general. Please ensure that you all like up the live stream, share it with your friends, your relatives, Janice Brown stating here, no rain in Manchester. Socklop stating Westmoreland having rain. No. Yes, the deeper this crazy Gaisha. What is the highest wind speed Jamaica would get? Boy, these models are continuously changing because with each and every run, you know that the supercomputer must come out every 6 hours. And with each and every run, we have some slight changes. But as of right now, we see the yellows, we see the bright greens, we see the gold, we see all the way up into the burgundy or the purplish colors that we can see by the key on the right that represents anywhere from 25 knots all the way up to 40 knots, close to 50 knot winds. And this is where the system should be located. The center of the system should be located by this time frame, 2300 hours tonight. That's 11 p.m. tonight to the southwest of us. This is according to the latest GFS run. And we see the wind speeds and we see the wind direction as well. Some strong winds coming out of the east or the southeast around the center of circulation. We see it flowing around the center right there. So some strong winds going to be coming out of the direction of the sea from the south in general. It's going to be bad. We're going to be having power outages because even the little tropical waves, if they can cause power outages with just the gust front, we've seen the strong winds that cause the dust to kick up on the trees or their limbs to be torn down or whatever the case may be. And those are just tropical waves where we've had gust fronts from before the thunderstorm started. This is a whole tropical storm. We're definitely going to be getting in on tropical storm force winds. Just mentioned it, anywhere from 34 to 64 knot winds. That's anywhere from 39 to 73 mile per hour winds. So we're definitely going to be in for it. And as much as Jamaica is rarely impacted by tornadoes, they can definitely happen within some of these thunderstorms for sure. So don't be surprised if you get some of that. So we just saw the Euro and the GFS models showing that yes, we're going to be getting in on rainfall even after the system is way out of here. But let us look at the closest pass. The closest pass seems to be right here, 12Z on Tuesday, which is actually 7 a.m. We see the system right here off to the southwest or to the west of the island on the Euro. GFS has the system even stronger. Look at this, 997 millibars right there. It's all the way down. Let's see if I can find the latest from the Air Force reconnaissance aircraft. They definitely found the greens in there that represents the tropical storm force wind. So don't be surprised if we are bumped up within the next 5 minutes, considering that it's 3:55 p.m. right now. If we're bumped up to a tropical storm, let's reload it. Let's see, we're still on the 1 p.m. advisory, so it's only a matter of time before all of this changes from tropical depression 18 to tropical storm Rafael being upgraded in general. But we see what's taking place. The Euro a bit more reserved, especially with the rainfall. Dark greens, yellows that represent anywhere from 4 all the way up to 6 inches of rainfall. GFS not that reserved at all. GFS giving it to us. The greens all the way up into the reds that represent 12 to 16 inches of rainfall. Look at all of that. That is just ridiculous amount of rainfall. It's not like we have any dry air in the area. We don't have any Saharan dust or anything like that. All of the Saharan dust is right here across the waters of the main development region. And it's not even that vigorous of a plume. The vigorous plumes of the Saharan dust is usually some darker shades of browns that we know can cause some very hazy skies, trigger some amount of respiratory illnesses in some people, asthma, sinusitis, you name it. I remember in 2020 when we had that big plume, I think it was in June or July, and I could taste the Saharan dust when I woke up out of my sleep. I went outside, the place was so hazy, it looked like it was raining. You know, when you look out into the distance, it has that kind of milky whitish look. Looks like it's raining, but it wasn't raining at all. Definitely some Saharan dust, heat for days. We know the drill when it comes to the Saharan dust. Yes, all of this is pushing from east to west. It's November, but we see that the more west it goes, the more it dwindles. Some of it definitely affecting portion of the Windward Islands already dwindled down. and that's what's expected with the rest of it. That's what we like. We don't want the Saharan dust here, even although we know the Saharan dust is very good at destroying these systems. There's no Saharan dust where we have Rafael or future Rafael at all. So it's almost the 4 p.m. advisory. Let's see if we continuously reload the page. We're living on the U.S. National Hurricane Center's page. We don't see anything happening at all. Alright. Alright, so as I've stated before, we've already been saturated regarding the rainfall across the island. We've seen what's been happening across Portland, across St. Mary. They've been getting in on that moist northeasterly flow for the past 2 weeks. That northeast trade wind between the Windward Passage. And that has been bringing a lot of clouds, showers, thunderstorms, especially across sections of St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. The ground has already been saturated. It's already soaked, which explains the land slippages. Some of this spilling into portions of northern Clarendon, northern St. Catherine, northern St. Andrew, northern St. Thomas. And we saw what happened recently in the news regarding the landslide, the huge breakaway up into the hills of St. Andrew. We saw what took place. That was because of the amounts of rainfall that they've been receiving, and the fact that we're in for a tropical storm now. Boy, we're just getting the 1-2 punch. We got Beryl in July. Now we're getting this is now Rafael in November. Just like how Taiwan is one susceptible island in the Western Pacific. They got another system earlier this year, and they just got another one recently. Boy, Jamaica and Taiwan, we're just smack dab in the middle of the hurricane highway. Very susceptible to these systems. Let's see, we're reloading the NHC's website. Boy, we're not seeing anything at all. Definitely still showing the 1 p.m. update. Well, it's 3:59 p.m. so let's give it a minute or so. As of right now, nothing. But we're gonna be looking at the actual rainfall forecast now. Look at this. This is 7 p.m. tonight. We still have the blues representing rainfall coming into second of southern and eastern parishes. Anywhere from St. Elizabeth eastward, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne. That's on the Euro. The GFS showing something similar, incorporating even section of Western, Westmoreland, and Hanover right there. Definitely the heaviest of the rainfall in the dark blues across sections of St. Thomas. Even as we head into 12 a.m. tonight, look at that. Lots more rainfall to receive across southern and eastern parishes. What's the weather like in you guys' area? Talk to me. Let me hear it. Let's see if we have the very latest yet from the Hurricane Center. Is it out yet? Doesn't seem like it. Well, yep, there we go. Definitely have it. Now we have Tropical Storm Rafael, packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. Central pressure 997 millibars, moving to the north at 9 miles per hour. So it's definitely increased in speed for sure. Let's see if we have the latest. We have it now. Definitely have it. And look how far the tropical storm force winds extend. The tropical storm force winds are right here in the goldish colors, or is that some kind of brownish color? You tell me. Look at that. We're starting to see an H. So the Hurricane Center is anticipating that the system could become a hurricane when it's close to what? That looks like Westmoreland, Hanover right there. Either way, 45 miles per hour. So, and we know hurricane status is about anywhere from 74 miles per hour onward. So it's about, let's say, 30 miles per hour shy of becoming a hurricane. Boy, we're in for it. And look at that, it's definitely taking the same kind of path, passing close to southwestern Jamaica, like what Beryl did. Lashed Manchester, Clarendon, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland. Those people can't catch a break. So we just got the latest update from the Hurricane Center. The 4 p.m. update is up and out. Packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour if you're just joining us. Still moving to the north. So they haven't said anything about it moving to the northwest as yet. It needs to start making that northwestern turn if we're planning on not making landfall. Hurricane Center still states that it's moving to the north. Last time I checked, north was like this. And if the system is right here, directly toward north is Jamaica in general. So yes, we wanted to miss land. We don't want it to make landfall at all. We want to add Rafael to our list. Let Sunday be the last landfall, or if not Grace, Grace be the last landfall for us in general. Grace in 2021. Do you remember Grace? That was forecast to go and do something like this, and it just continued and went westward and crossed over us when so many persons were at work. But we were happy that it wasn't that much of a strong system in general. But we see we have Rafael now. There's definitely no way work can be in progress tomorrow. School, maybe even into Wednesday, we still are getting in on some of the outer bands, as we saw earlier. Lots of heavy rainfall from this system, and we're gonna be continuing. This is 12 a.m. tonight. Look at this. Some heavy rainfall, dark blues, greens, yellows. This is midnight tonight. We're starting to get in on the heaviest of the weather coming in from the south. Look at the GFS, even more robust with the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the purples. Definitely some bad weather in general. Even as we head into 3 a.m., we started getting on most of the activity coming into most of our southern and eastern parishes. So majority of Surrey County, that's Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, section of St. Mary can definitely getting on some of the action too. Majority of southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas, definitely going to be in for some of the bad weather. Guys, if you aren't subscribed as yet, please subscribe to the channel. Accurate and complete details. Opening tonight is definitely going to be a stormy night. Power outages definitely can occur. Get your phones charged. Get your laptops charged. Download some videos or some movies. Have your people watch them in general. You know the drill. Because we're definitely going to be in for with boredom. We highlighted what's going to be happening at 3 a.m. on Tuesday. Look at the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the pinks, the purples. All of this representing what we see on the key on the bottom. That's up to what? 30, maybe 40 millimeters of rainfall. That is just ridiculous amount. Euro a bit more reserved, as it's always been. Showing the greens, the yellows. Either way, the same spots are going to be getting on the heaviest rainfall. Anywhere from St. Elizabeth eastward, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas getting in on the mix. I mean, can we just look at this map for a second? This is just ridiculous. I don't normally do forecasts like this, showing such heavy rainfall affecting areas of the island regarding the 1 hour totals. This is just 3 a.m. this morning. Well, tomorrow morning. That's ridiculous. That's gonna be causing flooding. Wouldn't be surprised if we wake up to hear some devastating news. We don't want that, but it's definitely possible for sure. Boy, let's see what the comments are saying. Yes, Gaisha, river and sea level will surely rise. Sherry Campbell, getting rain in Montego Bay. Yes, Sherry, we highlighted it. This is the latest infrared. Let's reload these images so that we have the very latest. This is the latest infrared. Look at the thunderstorms that's affecting a portion of western Jamaica as we speak. We're talking about Trelawney getting in on the mix. Sections of St. James right here. Sections of Hanover right here, as well as sections of Westmoreland. They're definitely getting it as we speak. Some strong thunderstorms. We see the cumulonimbus clouds represented by the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the blacks, the sparkling white dots that we know represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. And look at that out to the sea, to the east of St. Thomas, getting ready to come in. We're definitely going to be in for some of that tonight. As of right now, in St. Thomas, I'm looking outside right now. All I see is clouds. We were having some rainfall at the beginning of the live stream. Some of you guys even heard the rainfall. It's cooled down a bit now. Even if we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, we can definitely match what we're seeing on the satellite images to what we're seeing on the radar. Look at that, some of the rainfall already coming into portion of eastern St. Thomas. This is as of, let's see, 50 minutes past the last hour. So that's as of 3:50, yes. So we're on the right track. 3:50, we see that we're still getting another heavy rainfall affecting sections of Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, section of St. Thomas, Portland, starting to get in on some very heavy rainfall. And there's a lot more of that to come as the night progresses. Get yourself ready for that. Flash flooding definitely going to be a concern for sure. Let's see, we have any more comments coming in. We have Valda Finlay stating light rain in Westmoreland, and we send photos through emails. Guys, you can definitely post photos on our other social media platforms. That's Weather Jamaica on YouTube, well, on Twitter. So here we have our platforms right here. Let's go to our profile. I've highlighted this numerous times, guys. You can definitely post your photos on our social media platforms. We have our Instagram at weather.jamaica. Well, you know, we can post pictures in the comments of Instagram or on TikTok. But we can definitely post pictures in the comments on our Facebook as well as on our Twitter page. So you can definitely send the photos for sure. Let's see what's happening. Let's read some more comments, because boy, this system is definitely bad. So we have Tropical Storm Rafael, if you're just joining us right now, packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. So it's definitely a tropical storm right now. We'll definitely be getting in on more updates throughout the night. Definitely a formidable system. Look how huge this thing is. And we see the deepest convection right here after the south of Jamaica, getting ready to push northward. This system is on top of some of the warmest waters, not only at the lower levels of the ocean, but even at the surface. The waters are above normal. The skin of the ocean, look at all of this. The oranges, the reds right here. Definitely trying to use up as much of the ocean waters as possible as it develops and pushes its way northward. Definitely a bad situation right here. We still have tropical storm warnings up for Jamaica. We see where the tropical storm force winds are, more so on the east side of the system. And where is the system expected to go? To the northwest, or to the west of the island. But remember, as of right now, the hurricane center still has it still moving towards the north. So they're stating in their forecast, or in their projected path, that it's supposed to move to the northwest, this direction, to the northwest, and pass to the west of us. But as of right now, they're stating that the movement is to the north, and we have to pay attention to that now, because there are many times in the past where they say, oh, it's supposed to be moving that direction. But when they look at the actual movement, it's doing its own thing. So as of right now, it's still moving to the north at 9 miles per hour. We see that it's definitely increased in speed. It was about 7 miles per hour earlier today in the morning for sure. Boy, I can hear the rain starting again in my area of St. Thomas. Definitely going to be the case for the next 24 to 48 hours in general. Let's see what's happening. Do you think Hanover will get the winds? Charlene, yes, Hanover will definitely get some of the winds. Definitely. I mean, look at this. The latest update has the system becoming a hurricane. And although the hurricane wind fields are usually smaller than the tropical storm wind fields, who knows exactly what will happen? Let me fine tune this line right here, because what we need to realize about these systems is that when it comes to the cone of uncertainty, the system can pass on the edge right here, it can pass right here in the middle, or it can pass right here on the right hand side, possibly clipping Negril or Westmoreland. Maybe it makes landfall tonight, and maybe it becomes a hurricane before. And I've said this before, the hurricane center is not 100% accurate when it comes to intensity forecasts. We remember what happened with, I believe it was hurricane, I don't remember its name, that became a huge category 5 hurricane within 24 to 36 hours across Mexico. We saw what took place there. But boy, regarding this system, earlier today we had more of a hurricane as soon as it passed the Cayman Islands, or maybe a little before it. Now look at that. They're definitely in for a hurricane warning for sure. Now the system is expected to become a hurricane right there to the west of the island, 1 p.m. on Tuesday. It's gonna be west of us according to this. Let's hope it doesn't travel more on the eastern side of this projected path and come into portions of Westmoreland or Hanover. You can't do with any more power outages, especially if you're living in St. Elizabeth, for sure. So we see what's happening. So I'm getting in on some of the heavy rainfall. We see the Cuban Doppler radar images coming into portion of St. Thomas. I live in St. Thomas. I'm definitely getting in on some of the heavy rainfall as we speak. The greens, the yellows, and there's a lot more of that, and it's coming in fast. It's a tropical storm. So all of this moisture is spinning in and around the system very, very quickly. So we're going to be getting on some heavy rainfall, some strong winds. Get yourself ready for the power outages. Get yourself ready. Charge your devices. If you have meat in your fridge, do something. I don't know. Cook them up from now. Ensure that you have your tin items to eat, especially in the coming days. The reason why they usually say that though, that you're supposed to ensure that you buy non-perishable items, things that won't spoil, meats, dairy. Power outages are possible. We can have trees or light posts down for days or weeks. Maybe a bridge can break off, and then JPS and their trucks can't get to your area for weeks. Some of that happened with some of the people who lived in Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth when it came to burial, which is why it took them so long. So many of you guys are so young, you don't even know that this is what hurricanes do in general. You can't blame flow, you can't blame JPS. These things happen all over. Well, let's see. We have Tropical Storm Rafael now. Definitely a bad situation. We see the thunderstorms lashing portions of western Jamaica as we speak. The thunderstorms are starting to come into portions of eastern Jamaica. We see the reds. Can hear the rainfall outside. Definitely some moderate to heavy rainfall lashing my part of St. Thomas as we speak. Let's see if we have some more comments coming in. We have Eunice B put stating rain in the grill. Shanice Bennett, no rain in St. Mary God's Child. St. James getting tremendous rain. Someone just sent me. We have Taj 14 stating cloudy in St. Mary Ranika. Here in Wakefield, Trelawney getting showers. No, just coming in from work. Gaisha, I'm in St. Thomas and it's very dark. Close. Gaisha, I'm in St. Thomas too. What part of St. Thomas you at? Kemiji, Spanish Town, a warm up. Nickel, Royal, on and off rain in Southeast Westmoreland. Jacqueline Warner. In St. Andrew, we start to get some rain. Kijana Brown. Dry in St. Catherine, but we did have a lot of wind. Legend, it coming Jamaica same way. Light rain right now in Westmoreland. We have lots of comments coming in here. A very bad situation in general. Lots of flooding going to be taking place regarding this system right here. I mean, look at it. It is just huge. For reference, let me scroll down so that you can know where Jamaica is. We have Cuba. We have Jamaica. We have Tropical Storm Rafael. I mean, look how big this system is. And the center of the system is somewhere in here. And it's pushing off towards the north right now. According to the Hurricane Center, it's moving north. But it's expected to move towards the northwest. That's what's expected. But as of right now, it's moving to the north at 9 miles per hour, according to their latest update. That's what we need to understand. So don't be surprised if we get landfall tonight because of the continued north movement. It needs to start making that westward turn shortly. Or we're going to be in for landfall tonight. Even more strong winds. Who knows, maybe the system might even make it up to hurricane status before it gets here to the west end of Jamaica by 1 p.m. on Tuesday. it's becoming an H. Jumps from an S, storm status, to an H, hurricane status. So we're definitely going to be in for some of the bad weather. Let's take a look at the visible satellite images. Look at that. We usually look at the visible so that we can see the low level flow. We can also make out the upper level flow. We see the high cold clouds pushing off towards the north. We see the pop-up popcorn thunderstorm clouds right here to the south of Kingston, pushing into portion of St. Catherine next. Heavy rainfall pushing into St. Thomas and Portland as we speak. Heavy rainfall starting to leave the coast of Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James. Boy, we're definitely going to be in for it. Lots of showers, lots of thunderstorms. As of right now, the latest infrared satellite image just came out. Let's see, 5 minutes past the hour. So this just came out 4:05 p.m. considering that it's 4:18 now. We can see the thunderstorms. Section of Hanover still getting on some thunderstorms. Section of Westmoreland, St. James, sparkling white dots. We know represent the lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. They're definitely getting lashed right now. And I'm getting lashed in my portion of St. Thomas. We're getting on some rainfall. We don't see the sparkling white dots that represent some amount of lightning strikes or lightning flashes. But we're getting that rainfall. We're getting that heavy rainfall at that too. Definitely a bad situation. We see the Cuban Doppler radar images. This is why we need the Jamaican Doppler radar. But boy, the Med Service, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. The Med Service's Doppler radar has been done for quite so long. I really don't know what's going on. When we actually go to their website and we scroll down to the bottom, we see radar image right here at the bottom right. And when we click it now, this is what happens. We see more of a, this looks like a 3-day forecast. We don't want to see that. We want to see the actual Doppler radar images. We want to see the rain itself. Have to be depending on Cuba. We have to be depending on the Guantanamo Bay US military radar, because we know that they have a prison there. The US has a prison over there, so their navy is they installed our Doppler radar there so that they can help with the aircraft and the shipping. We can see some rainfall across the western peninsula of Haiti right there. So you can see some rainfall across sections of Portland, sections of St. Thomas. Let's reload these images so that we have the very latest. Definitely see the rainfall affecting portion of eastern Jamaica, and that's gonna be the order of the night in general. Let's see what's happening on the Cayman radar. Cayman radar definitely showing some amount of rainfall to the south of Grand Cayman. We see the blues, the greens, the yellows that represent some light to moderate to heavy rainfall in the yellows. We see the rainfall starting to exit the coast of Hanover and Westmoreland right there. Definitely some bad weather in general. If you're just joining the live stream, please ensure that you subscribe. There are so many persons watching. Subscribe, because we definitely post videos like this live stream all day, every day. You're definitely missing out if you're not a part of this family. Well, we have 1,000 persons watching. That's very good. If you're just joining the live stream, we now have Tropical Storm Rafael. I mean, look how huge this system is. It's huge. We're starting to lose the daylight here. And we take a look at the visible satellite images. Yeah, we're starting to lose the daylight. When we take a look at the visible satellite images right here, we can see the system definitely spinning around, definitely setting the stage for some very bad weather to push into portion of Jamaica tonight into tomorrow. Look at all the sparkling white dots right here heading into portions of Honduras. Definitely some bad weather over there as we speak. The thunderstorms right here off the western coast of the island. Some thunderstorms stretching from Hispaniola all the way down into portions of Venezuela. And we're seeing the darkness coming into frame from right to left to signal that we're losing the sunlight across the eastern Caribbean. So we're going to have to be dependent on the infrared, and the latest infrared. Let's reload these images so that we have the very latest to show. Don't want to be showing you outdated information. We see right here the latest image showing all of the thunderstorms starting to push into the island. Heavy weather. Look at the heaviest weather still off to the south of us. Dark reds, blacks, grays, pinks, you name it. We're definitely in for some bad weather as we continue throughout the night tonight. Get ready for the flooding. Get ready for the mudslides, the landslides, you name it. We're definitely going to be in for some of that. Definitely going to be a very, very bad situation. But boy, we really don't want to wake up tomorrow to any bad news. Persons washed out, persons stranded or needing rescue. If you know you live in a flood prone area or you live on a hillside that is susceptible to land slippages, get somewhere safe now. Get to a shelter, get to a friend or a relative with a stable environment. Boy, there's nothing I hate more than when we know that there's a system coming and we end up hearing that we have deaths happening. We want to limit that. We're in 2024. We shouldn't be getting caught off guard when it comes to these systems. I know everybody might not be, well, what's the word, blessed to have ease of communication, maybe smartphones, internet, or televisions to tell us that, oh, something is coming. But boy, we just have to hope and pray that everything works out. So we can definitely see the system definitely taking its sweet time, pushing northward as we speak. We're definitely going to be in for some bad weather as we continue throughout the night. Flash flooding, for sure, it has already begun. Clouds already pushing into portions of St. Thomas as we speak. Hearing the moderate to heavy rainfall outside. Look at the other infrared. This is the one that we're used to from primetime news days when we had Evan Thompson. When I was young. This is the one we always saw. The purples, the greens, the blues, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites. The whites, you know, represent the deepest convection. And we can see definitely bubbling up as we speak to the south of Jamaica, getting ready to push northward into the island with all of the tropical storm force winds as we can see in the gold color. The system is moving to the north at 9 miles per hour, packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. So it's somewhere down there in the low end tropical storm status range. It is packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. What we don't want to see is that it gets all the way up to 73 miles per hour, close to hurricane status. But that could definitely be the case. As of the latest update from the Hurricane Center, has it becoming an H. H represents hurricane status by 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And given how slow this system has been moving so far, boy, it's just taking its sweet time. But according to the Hurricane Center, it's moving at 9 miles per hour, as we can see here. But shouldn't it be moving towards the northwest? This direction right here that it's supposed to be at, that would have to be some kind of a northwestward movement. But according to the Hurricane Center, it's moving to the north. So it's moving this direction. And we know what's directly toward its north, Jamaica. So will it actually make that left turn or that west turn before all is said and done? And we know that even if it makes that left turn or west turn, we're going to be in for the worst of the weather. The tropical storm force winds in the gold color. That has the heaviest winds. Power outages. That's what we don't want, but it's going to be happening. If we have tropical waves, and the tropical waves are causing power outages. When we have the gust fronts, if you remember earlier this year, so many gust fronts kitching up dust, causing tree limbs to break, persons running up and down in Kingston. Gust front, not necessarily a squall line, but more so of a gust front, the strong winds that come right before the thunderstorms. And we're going to be in for a whole bunch of that within the next 24 hours. Anywhere from 39 to 73 mile per hour winds. That's what we're in for. And the system is expected to strengthen the more it gets towards the island. All courtesy of the lack of wind shear. All courtesy of the very warm waters of the ocean, the tropical cyclone heat potential, showing how warm the waters are the deeper we go into the ocean, showing how warm the waters are at the surface of the ocean. This is the sea surface temperature anomaly. Look at that. All of these maps very updated. Today is Monday, November 4. This latest image just came out yesterday, November 3. This latest image showing how warm the waters are the deeper we go came out today, November 11. And the system is located right on top of this very warm water to the south of Jamaica. The warmest ocean heat content anywhere in the basin right now. Look at the dark reds that we can see by the key on the bottom. That's ridiculous, and the system has been sitting over this bath water all day today, and it's finally ready to start lifting northward when we're heading into the night time, when many persons are going to sleep. Boy, we don't want to wake up and hear any bad news, any flooding, anything like that at all, any land slippages, any bad news at all. We don't want that. We just have to hope for the best. Ensure that you go and get to a shelter. Tropical storms can definitely cause a lot of damage. They have a lot of rainfall. They do more damage than the hurricanes in terms of the winds. The winds can cause damage, but we usually hear more damage when we have tropical storms, the flooding. If this was happening over Haiti, I'm pretty sure the death toll would be ridiculous. You know, in Haiti they have a lack of trees. They have to be cutting down trees to make coal, so it's very easy for their area to be flooded. Lots of mudslides, landslides, you name it, which explains why anytime they have systems like this, we have a lot of deaths in that country. Remember in Jamaica in 2012 when we had Hurricane Sandy, we had only 2 deaths, and in Haiti we had many deaths because of the heavy rainfall and the fact that they're so susceptible to flooding in general. So as I've stated, I'm definitely getting the heavy rainfall as we speak. We're definitely getting it across sections of St. Thomas. Wonder if the rainfall has reached into Kingston as yet. We see the deep convection right here to the south of Kingston, heading northward to sections of St. Catherine as well. Section of Portmore definitely going to be getting in on some of the action. We see the heavy rainfall affecting sections of northwestern Westmoreland, section of Hanover. We see the sparkling white dust that represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. Section of St. James getting in on some of the action as well. If you're just joining the live stream, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it with your friends, your co-workers, relatives, and even your church brethren. Let them know what's happening before we get the power outages. The system is coming and it's packing quite the punch. Let's go back to the latest rainfall totals that are expected, because this was ridiculous. This is 3 a.m. on Tuesday. We see the dark blues, we see the greens, we see the yellows and the oranges. Definitely some heavy rainfall. That's on the euro. But what does the GFS show? GFS is even more ridiculous, going bonkers. Look at the greens, look at the yellows, look at the oranges, look at the reds, look at the purples. That is ridiculous. And even throughout the day on Tuesday, we're going to be in for some more of that. This is 7 a.m. Look at the heavy rainfall still plaguing portion of the island. We see the heaviest of it should be passing to the southwest of us. Look at the purples heading into portions of Westmoreland, sections of St. Elizabeth. Skipping ahead to about 11 a.m. we start to see most of the heaviest of the weather off to the west of the island. We still see some rainfall in and around the island. Southern Jamaica still gonna be getting plagued with rainfall even as we wrap up the day on Tuesday. Look at this. This is 8 p.m. and we still have the darkest blues across sections of some southern parishes. And you know why that is? Because even though the system is going to be over there by the Cayman Islands by that time, 8 p.m. on Tuesday, we're still going to be getting in on that moist southeasterly flow. We're going to be getting in on that very heavy rainfall. And let's talk about the winds for a second. I know we've been talking a lot about the rainfall, but the winds are going to be ridiculous as well. Look at the winds. This is forecasted for 11 p.m. tonight. We're definitely going to be having a sleepless night tonight as we continue to watch this system before we get the power outages. But we see where the system is expected. We see the airflow pressure right here up to the south. We see the wind spinning around it in a counterclockwise fashion. And we see by the key on the bottom right that represents anywhere from 25 all the way up to 40 plus knot winds. And the GFS is showing something similar regarding the winds. All of the winds are going to be coming in more so from the east or the southeast across the island around that area of low pressure that is supposed to be pushing to the northwest, to the west of the island. And we see what all of that represents. All the way up into the 40 knot wind range represents anywhere from 39 to 73 miles per hour winds. And we're already there. We're already at 45 miles per hour winds. According to the Hurricane Center, it's already a tropical storm. We're already getting on that bad weather, and it's just going to be getting worse. So get yourself prepared. The system means business. It's definitely going to be dumping a lot of rainfall across the island. Get yourself ready. The flash flooding is going to be very, very bad. If you're just joining us, please ensure that you subscribe to the channel. I can't believe that YouTube is telling me that there are so many persons who watch and they aren't subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. We post live streams like this every day. No, not live streams. I will post videos like this every day where we're live streaming for the first time in a long time. Alright, let us see what some of the comments are saying, or some of the chat. Let's see what the views are saying. Subscribe guys, like the video. I can't believe we have what 925 viewers right now, and we only have 361 likes. Can everybody like the video right now? Or is that case where you guys don't have a Gmail account and you're just here and Google is counting you as a device? What's going on? As it doesn't make sense. Like up the live stream. So let's see some comments. We have Shanice Bennett here sitting. We're not having no rain in St. Mary. Okay, Shanice, don't worry, it's going to be getting there. As a matter of fact, I know that you've been getting rainfall for the past 2 weeks, given the relief rainfall that you guys have been getting. A lot of rainfall to come. Let me see if I can find that relief rainfall. Here we go. So this is what I was explaining. I want you to look at this. Look at this image. Let us say we're right here on the border of St. Catherine. Let's look at the maps to confirm. So we're right here on the border of St. Catherine and St. Mary. We're somewhere right here, and we're looking east or east southeast. Okay, we're looking east. So let's go back to the map. Where is the map? I think I lost the map. Here we go. So we're looking east. So more than likely we're going to be seeing the Blue Mountains. Let's say the Blue Mountains is this right here with the snowy peak. Yeah, we know that Jamaica doesn't have snow, but for reference sake, more than likely this would have been the southern side of the island, and this would have been the northern side that contained St. Mary and Portland. For the past 2 weeks, they've been getting over there that northeasterly prevailing wind, the northeast trade winds across sections of Portland. All of this coming through the windward passage. This area right here between Cuba and Haiti, that's the windward passage, and it sent lots of strong northeasterly winds in the portion of northeastern Jamaica. And they've been getting all of that moist northeasterly flow, which explains why sections of Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne have been getting in on a lot of rainfall for the past 2 weeks. And it's not like the rainfall is only affecting them. The rainfall has been spilling into sections of some southern parishes too. We saw what happened recently, if you're following on social media, with the breakaways in northern St. Andrew. We saw some land slippages taking place in sections of St. Mary and Portland. That only means the ground is already saturated. And with saturated ground and the fact that we're going to be getting this, look at what the accumulated precipitation forecast maps are showing. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous. This map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 12Z on Wednesday, November 6th. That's about 7 a.m. All the rainfall that's expected from now to 7 a.m. on Wednesday. The Euro showing purples, pinks, that represents close to even 4.7 inches of rainfall, especially across St. Thomas. Kingston St. Andrews 3.27 inches. Clarendon 3.02 inches. Manchester 4.13 inches. 2.83 inches of rainfall in St. Elizabeth. Clearly the southern side definitely more susceptible. We can see it all being represented by what we see here on the key on the right. 2 inches in the Burgundy. That's on most inland areas. Reds up to 1 inch for a section of northern parishes. Anywhere from Hanover eastward, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary. Definitely going to be in for some very bad weather in general. And it's not only the Euro that is showing that, but even the GFS. And the GFS is even more ridiculous with the rainfall. Look at the latest GFS run. This is just ridiculous. I've never seen something like this in a long while. Like in a long while. This is definitely going to be bad. We're going to get lots of footage. I know for a fact we're going to be getting lots of footage out. If all of this verifies with all of this rainfall, we're going to get a lot of footage coming out of the flooding, the damage that was done, you name it. I mean, look at the salmon colors. Look at the light blue colors according to the latest GFS. The light blue that we can see by the key on the right represents up to 10 to 12 inches of rainfall. In Jamaica, when it comes to the rain gauge, we use millimeters. When we convert all of that from inches to millimeters, that's what, 300 millimeters of rainfall. That's ridiculous if that actually verifies. That's what's expected within the next 24 hours. And the rainfall has already begun. Luckily, so many of us were able to go to school or work today without issues because the system was taking its sweet time over the warm waters of the Atlantic. But now we see that it's starting to come in. It means business. We see the thunderstorms. The latest infrared right now shows the sparkling white dots that we don't represent so much of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. Still lashing portions of St. James, Hanover right there. But we're starting to get in on the weather associated with this system across section of some southern and eastern parishes. Look at that heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall. Thunderstorms. Let's match it to the latest Cuban Doppler radar images. We can see it right here. The latest image just came out at, let's see, 30 minutes past the hour. That's some heavy rainfall. Look at that. Dark greens, yellows. We see all of that to the south of Kingston, to the south of St. Catherine. Definitely coming their way. As a matter of fact, let's see what's taking place. Let us see what's taking place on the cams. Because we know that we have to be depending on See Jamaica, where they show live streams of the corporate era. This is Barbican. Not seeing much happening right now as of 1640 UTC. No, 1640 100 hours. Which is actually what, 4:40 Jamaica time. We can see the road a bit damp to show that they've been getting on some isolated shores for sure. As a matter of fact, I think I see somebody right there with umbrella over their head. We even see some cars there with their windshield wipers on. Definitely getting on some amount of rainfall. 2 persons watching the Barbican camera right now. Many of you guys on my live stream right now, subscribe to See Jamaica. They show live streams of Barbican. They show live streams of Crossroads. This is Crossroads. The latest, showing that we're getting in on some strong winds already. We see the windshield wipers on. We see the trees moving in the wind. We see the umbrellas out. They're definitely starting to get in on the bad weather that I in St. Thomas are getting. Well, I am getting right now in St. Thomas. I'm getting that heavy rainfall. I hear it outside. Still some moderate to heavy rainfall taking place. Alright, we're starting to get in on that rainfall. We can see the hills of St. Andrew, not seeing much happening right now, but it's definitely on its way. We see it on the Cuban Doppler radar. We see it pushing towards that direction. Look at that. Nothing there earlier. Now there's something coming in from the southeast. I just got my fair share of the heavy rainfall, and they're going to be getting on their fair share. You can see the heavy rainfall exiting the coast of Westmoreland. Section of Hanover still getting on all of that, and we can match it to the latest infrared right here. Still showing that we're getting in on some thunderstorms across portions of Hanover, St. James, And we see that on the latest Cuban Doppler radar. And we see that there's a lot more rainfall to come. Definitely going to be a bad situation in general. Lots of flash flooding, landslides, mudslide, which is why we need some tips. We need some tips. What are the tips for flooding? It states here, avoid areas subject to sudden flooding. Do not attempt to cross rivers or flowing streams where water is above the knee. Beware of water-covered roads and bridges. Do not go swimming or boating in swollen rivers. Eat only well-cooked food. Protect leftovers against contamination. Drink clean or preferably boiled water only. Let's see, we have some more flood safety tips because trust me, we're in for some amount of flooding. Move to higher ground. Do not attempt to drive through a flooded roadway. We've seen that so many times. So many people think that their vehicles are invincible and they think, oh, the water is not that high. Nobody really knows what's happening regarding the road. Is there still a road? Can your car chance it? Will it not stall? Will it not shut down? Do you want to be in a situation like that? Why not just wait it out? Why not turn around and not drown? Why not go back somewhere and wait it out? Chill in a parking lot somewhere until it all passes and the water recedes. Are you really that in a rush to get home and then get washed away on the way home? We don't want a situation like that. If you come upon flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown. I cannot stress that enough. It states here 1 foot of water will float vehicles. 2 feet of rushing water can carry most vehicles, including SUVs. Do not drive around a barricade. If the area is blocked for a reason, don't drive around it. Find another route. Alright. Let's see what's happening. Let's see some more comments. Alright, so the highest wind speed that Jamaica could get anywhere from 34 to 64 knots. That's anywhere from 39 to 73 miles per hour. That's according to, well, that's answering Ricardo Porteous' question, asking what's the highest wind speed that we could get. Definitely close to hurricane wind speeds, sir. And that's because the system, let's find it back, is expected to become a hurricane by the time it reaches the western end of the island. We see the H. It's expected to become a hurricane. The latest from the Hurricane Center states that it's going to become a hurricane by, well, it should be a hurricane by 1 p.m. on Tuesday. I wouldn't be surprised that, I don't know, maybe later on tonight, Jamaica is under hurricane warning. I wouldn't be surprised. The system is over bathwater right now. It's trying to intensify the more northwest it goes. If it's expected to become a hurricane when it gets to here, and the mere fact that the Hurricane Center has stated that it's moving to the north right now at 9 miles per hour. The last time I checked, north was this direction. If it's going to go to this direction like what the projected path is stating, shouldn't it say movement northwest? We've seen these things happen before where the projected path has the system going one direction and then the Hurricane Center will say, oh, the movement is to the northeast. And then later on they adjust their path and start to include, oh, parts of northern Honduras who wasn't in the path at all. These things can happen. And I've said it before, regarding the projected path, the system can definitely tread in the middle of it. The system can be on the western side of it, and the system can be on the eastern side of it. So who knows, maybe the system might make landfall in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, or Hanover tonight. And we know what that means. Stronger winds, more power outages. They've just gotten buried a couple months ago. Are they really ready for all of that? I know it's a category 1 hurricane more than likely, if not a high-end tropical storm. So it's nothing like Beryl intensity in terms of ripping roofs off like that. Like what Beryl did. Beryl was a category 4 status. So it could definitely be less than that, but we can definitely get the power outages for sure. But as JPS stated, they're prepared. Flow is prepared as well. Hopefully it's nothing too drastic. Hopefully it's just the rainfall. Hopefully the persons who live in the flood prone areas get to higher grounds, because we see what's expected. The rain has already started. This isn't even the brunt of it yet. By midnight tonight, the heaviest of the rainfall should be just off towards south. Look at the greens, look at the yellows, look at the oranges, look at the pinks. By 3 a.m. tomorrow, the heaviest of the rainfall should be on land. Look at St. Elizabeth, Manchester and Clarendon getting it on those reds and purples. That's some ridiculous rainfall. Some of this rainfall from St. Thomas already affecting, or should be affecting, sections of Portland or St. Mary by that time. And that should be the order of the day on Tuesday, especially with the system off towards the northwest of the island, or the west of the island. We're still going to be getting in on that moist southeasterly flow, so we're definitely going to be in for that for sure. Let's read some more comments, but first of all, before I start reading, guys, please ensure that you subscribe to the channel. YouTube is telling me that so many persons are here and they're not subscribed. What are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel. You see the content that is being posted. I post videos like this each and every day. Get ready. The system means business. Like the video if you haven't liked it as yet. There are 942 of you watching according to my phone. I'm looking at my phone right now. 942 of you guys watching right now. Why is it saying that it only has 457 likes? Everybody like up the video right now. Like, what's going on? Just tap the like button. Leave a like. Leave a comment down below if you like. I'll leave a question in the chat. Let's read some of the questions in the chat as we continue to look at this system. Let's reload these images. The infrared and the rainbow images right here. Alright, AJ stating heavy rain tonight. Yes, AJ. Definitely coming in tonight for sure. Let's hope that your father can sleep through it thing. Yes, Melody. Hopefully St. Andrew will be safe. Get ready for the bad weather in general. I hope nobody is having any arguments in the chat. I'm reading through the chat right now. Alright, we have Joy Reynolds sitting pouring in the grill. Lots of thunder. Please be safe, my brothers and sisters. And we definitely saw the sparkling yellow dust. Negril is right here where we have the pink circle. They were definitely getting in on the heavy thunderstorms. Most of the thunderstorms right now are lashing portions of Hanover, as we can see here. As a matter of fact, let's reload these images so that we have the very latest. There we have it. We still have thunderstorms lashing portions of St. James, Hanover right there. And we have the heavy rainfall coming into portions of St. Catherine and Kingston and St. Andrew as we speak. Let's see what's happening on the latest crossroads cam. Is the rain has the rain started yet? No, not yet. Still have the strong winds though. You can see the trees moving. You can see the camera moving. Definitely being blown. Definitely a gust front. What's happening on the flat bridge cam? Nothing taking place. But mark the level right now, guys. It's 3:20. No, not 3:20. This is as of earlier. Alright, so it's 4:51 p.m. now on the live stream. Look at the level of the water. With the amount of rainfall that's expected within the next 24 to 48 hours, the flat bridge will be closed for sure. The water is going to be above the road for sure. Let's see if we wake up tomorrow to see what's happening. Definitely gonna flood out the area. The road will be impossible. If you know that you have to traverse this area, get through the area from now before the heaviest of the rainfall starts tonight. Don't even chance it tomorrow. Tomorrow is definitely gonna be impossible. Don't want to hear any news of anybody being washed away or anything like that. And I'd like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, visit See Jamaica on YouTube. Only 16 persons watching now. As soon as the system starts to do its thing in these areas, we're going to be having a bump up in the live stream view count. What's happening across halfway tree? Don't see much happening. The road definitely soaked to signal that they were getting in on some amount of rainfall for sure. see people going about their business. Don't see any windshield wipers on or any persons walking with their umbrella. So the rainfall is definitely over at halfway through. But it's only a matter of time before it starts again. Yeah, Jay, the real estate thing getting dark here in Ochi. Had some rain earlier. Let's see what's happening. Alright, Carleen. Getting heavy rain in Bull Bay. Guys, subscribe to the channel. This system is definitely going to be impacting us tonight. And I'll be definitely, well, as long as I have internet and electricity, I'll definitely be giving you more on what's happening regarding the system. Get yourselves ready. Flash flooding, definitely a possibility. Let me grab some water. As boy, this live stream thing is no joke. Give me a sec. Alright, so we're going to be highlighting the fact that we're having a live stream on our YouTube platform for all of our other social media followers. That's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Alright, so give me a second while I invite persons to this live stream. How do I do this? Okay. Alright, here we go. Alright, there we go. I just invited our people on our Twitter page. Let's invite some of our followers on our Facebook page. By the way, if you guys have these social media platforms, what are you guys doing? What are you waiting for to subscribe to our channel? Well, or other platforms, that is. Let's go over to Threads now. I wouldn't even know how to invite persons over to our live streams on our Instagram page. Instagram is just different. Alright, so I just invited persons. from Twitter, Facebook, Threads. Let me try. Alright. Alright, I think this can work. I'm gonna post this on TikTok as well. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we're back. It's 5 p.m. Alright, so if you're just joining the live stream, welcome. We're talking about Tropical Storm Rafael. Boy, quite the Spanish name. You don't have anybody in Jamaica, I'm sure, with that name. Unless they're maybe Latino, for sure. But we can definitely see the clouds of this system. Clouds stretching all the way from Hispaniola all the way down into portions of Panama, Colombia, northwestern Venezuela, and we see the heaviest of the thunderstorms in the deep reds to the south of Jamaica, getting ready to push northward and maybe pass us and affect the Cayman Islands and then over into western Cuba and the Gulf of Mexico. Definitely going to be a bad situation in general. We see the clouds already coming into portions of Jamaica from the south, and we're going to be in for more of that. And the thing is, we should be wrapping up the hurricane season right now. We're in the month of November. We're somewhere right here. We're falling off of the mountain. The peak of hurricane season is August through to October. I say that at the beginning of each of my videos. I don't know why people are thinking that I'm saying that hurricane season runs from August to October. No, I'm saying the peak of hurricane season is August through to October. We see how tall the mountain is in August as well as in October, especially in the peak, September 10 right there. But it's November 4 now. We should be falling all the way off, but boy, we see what has been happening. The very warm sea surface temperatures are to be blamed for that. We're having a system definitely taking advantage of the very warm ocean temperatures. We see how warm the waters are around Jamaica right here. Let's zoom in a bit. Jamaica is right here. Look at all of the oranges stretching all the way from the western to the eastern Caribbean into the main development region. And we also have the La Nina that's coming along. La Nina, we know, is the opposite of El Nino. We have the warm waters across the eastern to the central Pacific. The El Nino can cause lots of convection, showers and thunderstorms, more storms across this region, and in turn cause more upper level wind shear, which tears the tops of thunderstorms apart across the Atlantic into the Caribbean. But we haven't been having that. because we are having a lack of El Nino right now, a lack of it, which is basically a neutral-like condition. If the NOAA hasn't declared a La Nina as yet, and we see the La Nina coming in nicely, we see the cooler than average sea surface temperatures, we see the blues, we see all of those colors that represent La Nina in general, and this in turn causes little to no wind shear across this area. We have more thunderstorms forming across our area. More of these thunderstorms or tropical is becoming hurricanes in general, or storms, and that's exactly what's happening right now with Rafael. Definitely taking advantage of the lack of wind shear and the very warm sea surface temperatures, not to mention how warm the waters are at the depth of the ocean. Definitely a bad situation in general. The system has been sitting on top of this, some of the very warmest ocean heat content in the entire basin for the past day, and it makes sense that the system is so big. It makes sense that it's definitely bubbling up right now with all of these thunderstorms as we speak. System is definitely doing the most right now, and it has a lot of warm water to work with, a lot of ocean heat content to work with, and as such it's definitely going to be utilizing all of this warm water, sucking it all up, all of the evaporation, and then distributing it across the island in rainfall. So Rafael is basically going to be making up for all of the hot temperatures that we've been receiving across Jamaica for the past year. It's going to be bringing a lot of rainfall. It's going to be distributing the heat in another way. In terms of the rainfall, there's a lot of rainfall that's going to be affecting us. I mean, look at the rainfall accumulated precipitation totals that are expected. This is just ridiculous. Look at the purples, look at the pinks, look at the salmons. They're representing anywhere from 3 all the way up to 7 inches of a rainfall, and the GFS is even more robust, getting into the light shades of blues. Represents up to 10 inches of a rainfall. And you can do the math yourself, because when it comes to the rainfall that is collected on the rain gauge, we know it's measured in inches or millimeters. In Jamaica, we use millimeters, just like how we use degrees Celsius here instead of Fahrenheit, like what they use in the United States. In the United States, they use inches and Fahrenheit. In the United States, they use, I believe, miles per hour regarding the system. In Jamaica, I believe we use, I think it's kilometers per hour, if not knots. But as of right now, Tropical Storm Rafael packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. Look at the wind field estimate. Tropical storm force winds more so towards the east of the system. So if this actually verifies and the system moves towards the northwest and then becomes a hurricane to the west of the island, all of this going to be raking over the island, pushing in like this, coming in from the south. Tropical storm force winds, that's anywhere from 39 to 73 mile per hour winds that can cause damage. That can definitely cause damage. That can cause power outages. That can cause tree limbs to be broken or whatever the case may be. Don't want to hear about any trees falling on any power lines or any internet wires. Don't want anything like that. We're definitely going to be in for some of the bad weather within the next 24 hours. What's the weather like in you guys' here? Let me know what's happening in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. See people having their conversations. It's crazy. We have XXXA stating none in Maypen right now. That's good. We have Tanisha Roper stating the rain just started in Port Maria. Alright, we have Touch Ferron basically reiterating what I just said. For those who are living in and around flood prone areas, you're advised to be on the lookout and ready to evacuate immediately to higher ground. Very good. That's exactly what's expected because the rainfall totals are ridiculous. There's going to be flash flooding. There's going to be more landslides, especially across the areas that have been getting in on that relief rainfall. We highlighted the relief rainfall. We spoke about it. Where was the map again? that show the relief rainfall. Here we go. I spoke about how this side would be Portland and St. Mary, getting in on that strong northeasterly trade winds from between the Windward Passage, and all of the clouds piling up on the northeastern side of the island. Portland, St. Mary getting in on all of the rainfall, the clouds rising, lots of the rainfall staying. That's why they've been getting in on so much rainfall there, and that area is definitely even more susceptible to landslides and flooding, considering that the ground is already so saturated and they're still in for so much rainfall. Like, I'm grateful that it's not their side that's going to be getting on the most rainfall. They're going to be getting on, according to this run, 2.4 inches, 2.44. That's still a lot of rainfall. Euro a bit more reserved, 1.21, 1.47 inches of rainfall. That's still ridiculous amounts. They're in for it for sure. If you're just joining us, please ensure that you all subscribe to the channel. I see that we have 585 likes. Like up the video. We have 825 people watching. Like the video, share the video with your friends, your coworkers, relatives, so that we can keep everyone informed and safe. Don't want anyone to be caught off guard. There are so many persons who still don't even know that there's a system coming. So many persons don't know that there's a system coming. So many persons went to work this morning with a whole tropical storm warning in effect for the island. I mean, what if the system didn't slow down? So many persons would have been caught at school or work today. Boy, you guys took a chance with their life. I don't play those games. I didn't go to work, and that's not a bad thing. It's better safe than sorry. So as stated, we're in the beginning of November. We usually taper off in terms of activity. The reds, the yellows represent tropical storm and hurricane activity in general. During this time period, from November 1 to 10, this is where we do usually have some of the systems forming. All of where we see the yellow dots, that's where we have most of the systems forming during this time of year. And this is based on data from 1851 all the way up to 2023, all the way up to last year. All of these yellow dots, for reference, we have Jamaica right here. All of these represent where we've had systems form, and we see some of these systems way back when, even before many of us were born, pushing from northeast, or well, pushing from southwest to northeast across the island. Some of them made landfall, at least 3 of them made landfall between this time period. And we see what this system is doing now. So it did something like this. And now it's going to be doing something like this. And it's supposed to go like this towards the Cayman Islands and then go over wherever, whichever way it goes into the Gulf of Mexico. So that's exactly what's on the table right now. We're in the first half, or the first couple of days of November. So this is not abnormal. We're in for the bad weather. We're still in hurricane season all the way up to the end of November. And as I've stated, I wouldn't be surprised if we even get some systems during the month of December. We've had systems in December before, and it's not abnormal to have them. Well, it's abnormal in a way, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a system in December, given the very warm sea surface temperatures that are still here. And all of this heat has to be distributed some way. And even although we have Rafael doing something about it right now, we might just have another system doing something about it again before all is said and done with the month of November, or even with the year of 2024 in general. So before we lose the sunlight, let's take another last look at Tropical Storm Rafael. Let's reload these images. Now we have the very latest. We can see the darkness coming in from right to left, to signal that we don't have the daylight anymore across the leeward or windward islands at all. Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, definitely losing the daylight. Night is definitely coming in, but we can definitely see the thunderstorms associated with Rafael. Look at all of this. Look at the sparkling yellow dots. Look at the system definitely trying to get its act together, spinning around. Boy, we're going to get it tonight. Flash flooding. Look at the feeder bands stretching into the system, going like this. And the system is moving towards the north. The system is expected to push towards the northwest. Let's see exactly what it does tonight. Either way, We're going to get it tonight. We're going to get the very bad weather. It has already started. Let's look at the latest infrared. Let's see what's happening right now. I just had a heavy downpour in St. Thomas. Let's see if the rainfall is in Kingston now. We see the clouds, we see the reds, we see the blacks now coming into section of St. Catherine and Kingston. Let's see what the latest Cuban Doppler radar images are showing before we look at what the live cams are showing. Alright, we see the greens, we see the yellows coming into portion of St. Andrew, section of Kingston. We see some of that coming into section of Clarendon, section of Southern Manchester, Southern St. Elizabeth getting in on the mix as well. Let's see what's happening on the latest Barbican cam. Alright, we definitely see that it's raining. It's definitely raining here. We see people walking about, going about their business. Alright, we see people in their vehicles going about their business. There's definitely some moderate to heavy rainfall taking place as we speak. I mean, look at the area in general. They're getting it. They're getting it. Some of that rainfall from my area definitely reaching there right now. Let's take a look at the latest Crossroads. Alright, there we go. Some amount of rainfall taking place across sections of Crossroads. Look at that. We can't even see the hills of St. Andrew right now. That's ridiculous. The rainfall has already started and they're in for a lot more to come. Alright, sorry about that. I just got a phone call. A very important phone call. And I just tested the mute button on this mic for the first time. Nice to know that it's actually working. Alright, let me know if you guys can hear me again. Time to read some comments. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, Crossroads are washway, as we can see right here. Some amount of rainfall. Alright, sorry about that. I just got a phone. Alright, so it's working. Good. Alright, here we go. So we're looking at the latest live stream. Well, the latest infrared rainbow satellite images of the Caribbean. And the system is starting to take that comma shape kind of look that tropical storms usually have. Look at this. Look at this. We can see the definite comma. The system center somewhere in there. We can see right there. Definite comma shape. Classic tropical storm look for sure. Definitely trying to get its act together to push northwestward to the west of the island. Bring the heaviest weather. The strong winds that are off to the east of the center into portions of Jamaica. We just highlighted what's happening on the live cameras from Sea Jamaica. Barbican getting rainfall. Crossroads getting rainfall. Let's see. Nothing happening at Flatbridge. Flatbridge is in St. Catherine. Alright, so it's night time now, so they turn on the night vision. Or almost night time. 5:17 p.m. So get ready. We're in for a lot of rainfall throughout the night tonight into tomorrow. We see that as of 7 p.m. the rainfall should continue. It's already started. The blues, the greens that represent some amount of heavy rainfall coming into portion of southern Jamaica as well as eastern Jamaica. We know southern parishes, we're talking about those parishes like Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. But what about eastern parishes? And we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew right there. Get ready for it. It is coming for sure. There are going to be power outages. Let's talk about the winds for a second. The winds are going to be strong. If the hurricane center has stated that the system is expected to become an H by the time it is to the direct west of us, by the time it's supposed to be to the west of Negril, to the west of Hanover, that means the system is expected to strengthen. That means the system's wind speeds are expected to bump up between the 45 miles per hour that is currently at. So it's packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour right now. So it's expected to go up some more. Get all the way up to high-end tropical storm stage. That's 73 mile per hour winds. As it's coming closer to us, it's intensifying. And then it's going to be making it all the way up to hurricane status by the time it's to the west of us. Hurricane in the yellows, category 1, anywhere from 74 to 95 mile per hour winds. That's anywhere from 65 to 83 knots. And we can see the wind website right here, showing all of these colors that represents the wind. As of right now, most of the strong winds, we see the flow around the center of the system where it should be, according to the latest run of the GFS. This is where it should be by 2300 hours. That's 11 p.m. tonight. That's if it actually makes that left turn or that west turn, because as I've stated before, according to the hurricane center, yes, the system is expected to push towards the northwest, but as of their latest update that just came out at 4 p.m. 1 hour ago, they stated that the movement right now is to the north. I cannot stress how important this is. This is north, towards the island of Jamaica. So if it's going to be making that west or that left turn, it better gets that. It should get that done as soon as possible, or we could be in for a landfall. And landfall is even possible either way, because when it comes to the cone of uncertainty, the system can be on the edge of it, the system can be on the middle of it. I'm talking about the center of circulation or the eye of the system, or the system can be on the right hand side of it, and that could definitely make way for landfall across maybe section of St. Elizabeth or Westmoreland into Hanover. So they could definitely get in on the brunt of that. And who knows, maybe the intensity is underdone. We know the hurricane center is not strong when it comes to intensity forecasting. So this system could even become a hurricane before it gets here. As of right now, they have it still as a tropical storm, and it should be right here off to the south of us later on tonight, and a hurricane to the west of us. But who knows, maybe little after it's right here, it becomes a hurricane. Maybe later on tonight, I don't know, maybe 11 or 10 o'clock, we might see a red, Jamaica highlighted in red. What does the red stand for on the key on the bottom? That's hurricane warning. That's what the Cayman Islands are under as we speak. Tropical storm warnings for Jamaica in the blue. Definitely going to be a bad situation in general. Even although it's just a tropical storm, we can still have power outages. I've spoken time and time again. If the gust fronts that we've been getting so far from tropical waves, gust fronts, the strong winds that precede the thunderstorms, if the gust fronts that we've been getting so far from tropical waves can do so much damage, power outages, tree limbs down, people's roofs being torn off, you name it, then what is the tropical storm going to do? We're going to be having tropical storm force winds, guys. Many of us experienced the tropical storm force winds when Beryl was passing by us. It did damage. Most of the hurricane force winds were around Beryl's eye wall, and most of that skirted the south coast of the island. Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland got in on the brunt of that right there. Let me see if I can find it. Is this it? Let's see. Alright, I think this is it. So let's go back all the way to Beryl. This was what Beryl did when we looked at the peel on radar. Alright, so here we have the Cuban Doppler radar. This is the Cuban radar. And we see the latest Cuban Doppler radar showing that we're having some heavy rainfall plaguing portion of the island. The latest showing, I believe, 5:10 p.m. So this one just came out 13 minutes ago. Considering the time is 5:23 p.m. now, we can see rainfall affecting eastern, central, and western parishes. Section of Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. Section of St. Mary getting in on the action now. Section of Portland, St. Thomas getting in on the action now. Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, Southern St. Elizabeth getting in on some of the action too. But let's go back to Beryl. This was what Beryl did. Look at what Beryl did. And I want for you to keep in mind that most of these winds that affected majority of the island were tropical storm force winds. And most of the strongest winds were around Beryl's eye. In the eye wall right here. Look at this. This yellow area. All of this skirted Clarendon, Southern Manchester, St. Elizabeth. Maybe the western edge of Westmoreland got in on some of that. Those areas got in on the hurricane force winds, while majority of the island got in on what we're about to get, the tropical storm force winds, and we still had damage across the island. Most of the winds around Beryl, the majority right here, all of that was the tropical storm force wind. And as stated by the Hurricane Center, we're going to be in for some amount of tropical storm force winds. We see the brownish or the goldish colors should be more so to the east of the system. So even if it passes to the west of us, we're still going to be on the nasty side of the system, getting in on those strong winds, those 39 to 73 mile per hour winds. And we're going to be getting in on the strongest bouts of those winds, considering that the system is expected to strengthen the more it pushes towards us. Remember what the Hurricane Center has stated. It's expected to become a hurricane when it's off to the west of us. And the thing is, intensity forecasting is not their strong suit. We know that already. There was what was the name of the hurricane that lashed Mexico? Became a whole category 5 within 24 hours, if not 24 to 48 hours. And they didn't expect it to become a category 5. And that was ridiculous. Not saying that Rafael is going to do the same, but the mere fact that we didn't have an H yesterday or this morning and now we have an H there should tell us that the system is definitely taking advantage of the warm waters. It's definitely strengthening. It could definitely, who knows, maybe by later on this evening, Jamaica is under a hurricane warning. The system is trying its best to become a hurricane before it gets here. Look at the latest infrared from earlier today. It wasn't doing much. Everybody was saying, what is this? This doesn't look menacing. This doesn't look terrible. This looks a mess. That was what many persons were saying while they were experiencing sunshine across majority of the parishes. Well, look at it now, trying to get its act together. Look at the deep convection. Remember back in the day when we used to watch weather and primetime news, the reds, the whites that represents the deepest convection. We can see it right here to the south of Jamaica, getting ready to come in. Look at all of that heavy convection to the south of us, trying to get its act together, pushing northward. We're going to get it tonight for sure. We're going to get it tonight for sure. And the heaviest of it seems to be starting at around 3 a.m. in the morning. That's when many of us are sleeping. Look at the colors. Look at the greens. Look at the oranges, the reds, the purples. This is just ridiculous if this actually verifies. Coming into especially southern and eastern parishes. We know southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas. All of those parishes are in for some amount of heavy rainfall. So to eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Section of St. Mary could definitely get in on the mix too, even although they're not an eastern parish. And the mere fact that they've already been getting in on that rainfall, that moist northeast trade wind flow for the past 2 weeks. They've been getting in on the strong trade winds from the windward passage. Let's show that once more. The windward passage is right here, right between Cuba and Haiti. All of the strong northeasterly trade winds have been coming in for the past 2 weeks and bring a lot of heavy rainfall. The portions of Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, some of which were spilling into sections of southern parishes, which explains the huge breakaway in St. Andrew. They've been getting rainfall, and there's a lot more rainfall to come. This is what we're referring to right here. They've been getting in on that relief rainfall. It states here, mild, moist air comes in from the sea, from the northeast, and is forced to rise as it arrives at some hills. And we see how many hills are in Portland and St. Mary already. It rises, and it stays here. As it rises, temperature drops and the moisture in the air condenses to produce clouds and rain. That's what's been happening across Portland and St. Mary. They are so drenched. They are definitely saturated over there, and they're going to be getting in some more rainfall. Like, granted, clearly over the next couple of days, the southern side of the island should be getting on the heaviest rainfall, so they shouldn't be getting on that much, but they're still going to be getting on a lot of rainfall for sure across the northern portion of the island. So look out. I wouldn't be surprised if you check out the NWA's page, National Works Agency, and they are definitely even more. Let's see if I can search them on Twitter. So yeah, they've been highlighting the fact that there has been breakaways. Alright, this was the one that I was referring to, the one in Golden Spring, Mount Erie, St. Andrew, just to show that the rainfall from Portland and St. Mary has been spilling into northern St. Andrew. Northern St. Andrew is where this took place, Golden Spring. This huge breakaway. They're already saturated before the brunt of Rafael gets here. This is what I'm referring to. They're definitely in for it. Here we have another one from November 3, highlighting that the main road from Border to Coffee Gully, St. Mary, is now impassable. They've been getting in on the rainfall. This was posted yesterday, and they're going to be getting in on more of this, more land slippages. Look at this. Hopefully everybody stays safe. Don't want to hear any bad news, any loss of life, anything like that. Please ensure that you all stay safe. If you know that you live in a flood prone area, please ensure that you all get to a shelter, get to a friend or a relative's house that is in an area that is stable. Don't be on the hillside and you know that there's a possibility that your dwelling, your house could collapse because of the hill going down. Don't be in the flood prone area if you know that your area has flooded before. It's definitely possible. We see the rainfall totals that are coming. We see the 1 hour totals that are coming. This is just some ridiculous rainfall. We're not even exaggerating. This is a lot of rainfall that's coming within the next day. Tonight into tomorrow, we're going to be hearing news of flash flooding. And the thing is, even after the system passes, we're still going to be getting in on that moist southeasterly flow. Let me show you exactly what I'm referring to. Let's go back to the windy website. So we have the system right here to the southwest of us, or it should be there by 11 p.m. tonight, according to this run of the GFS. Let us see what it does on Tuesday. This is 12 noon on Tuesday, so it should be right here to the west of us as a hurricane, according to the Hurricane Center. And we see what's happening. The windy website right here is showing us that we're going to be getting in on that moist southeasterly flow still coming into portion of the island. So even after the system passes, and even after the system is long gone, look at this, even as we head into Wednesday, we still have somewhat of a southeasterly flow. Look at this. The system is way up here, affecting portions of Cuba, Havana to be exact, the capital of Cuba. And look at what we're experiencing across Jamaica. More so of a moist southeasterly flow, as we can see there, which explains why even as we head into Wednesday, both the Euro and the GFS supercomputer models are in consensus that we're going to be getting a lot of moisture. Let us go out in time. So this is 12Z on Tuesday, which is actually 7 a.m. and we see the Euro having the system right here across the waters to the west of the island. We see the dark greens, we see the yellows. That represents the 3 all the way up to 6 inches of rainfall. That is just ridiculous amounts of rainfall. The GFS, let's see if we have the 18Z. Alright, the 18Z is definitely coming out as we speak. Let's see what the latest run from the 18Z is showing. So perfect, it starts out right where it's supposed to be, right there to the south of Jamaica. That's where it's at right now. Let's continue to go out in time. We see what's expected to do come close to the southwestern portion of the island. We see the dark greens, we see the yellows that represent anywhere from 3 all the way up to 6, maybe even 8 inches of rainfall in the oranges. And then we see that by 7 a.m. on Tuesday, it should be right here off to the west of the island, pushing up to the north towards the Cayman Islands. And then we see where it's supposed to be by Wednesday. This is 6Z on Wednesday, which is actually 1 a.m. This is what I'm talking about. Let's find 6Z as well on a Wednesday. Alright, there we go. So even when the system is here, according to both the Euro and the GFS models, we're still getting a lot of moisture across the island. Look at the dark greens. All of that is going to be bringing the rainfall into portions of southern parishes in Jamaica. We see it right here. That moist southeasterly flow still going to be affecting our southern parishes. We're talking about St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland. And who knows, maybe during the afternoons, we usually have the daytime heating. So maybe all of that air might pile up across sections of some northern parishes for sure. So get ready for all of that. We're definitely going to be in for some bad weather within the next 24 to 48 hours. Alright, we're going to be reading some comments, but before we do that, subscription check. Have you guys subscribed yet? Let's get this channel up to 30,000 subscribers, guys. We're trying to get there. That's our goal before we wrap up hurricane season. I wonder if we can do it. It must be possible. If you're just joining us, we post we post videos every day about the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean in general. As a matter of fact, this is the first time in a long time that I haven't live streamed. I used to live stream back in the day when I used to play a lot of video games. Not anymore. Too busy with work and life. But we can see we're trying to build this weather community. We know that we have many other very good YouTube channels out there. Meteor Mundo, Weather Girl Danny, Mr. Weatherman. So many good weather channels out there that we can already follow. We're building this whole weather community. We just want one big happy family of weather lovers, many pluviophiles out there, people who love rain and the cool temperatures, not necessarily the flooding that the rains cause, but just the cool temperatures. That's the kind of society, that's the kind of community that we're trying to build here. We're trying to give more accurate data regarding the weather and more frequent data regarding the weather too. So subscribe. We have numerous videos here trying to build the subscriber count, trying to get to that 30k mark before we get to November 30th. Let's see if we can actually get that done. So if you aren't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. The button is right there below the live stream. Subscribe today, and you can even like the live stream as well. And keep in mind that we have a partnership with this channel, that's See Jamaica on YouTube, where they show live streams of Barbican right here. That's getting rainfall as we speak. They show live streams of Crossroads, that's also getting rainfall as we speak. There we go. Night definitely coming down. Still see that it's raining. Still see persons with their umbrellas. We see the Bogwalk Gorge as well. That's definitely going to be closed tomorrow. You know, everybody going across the bridge now. This time tomorrow, hell no. The time is now what? 5:37 p.m. This time tomorrow, nobody's going to be able to cross this bridge. So much rainfall. It's definitely going to be impossible for sure. And I would really like to highlight that if we're not having power outages, but we see what's coming. Some tropical storm force winds, all courtesy of Rafael. We see the brownish or the goldish colors right here. And all of this is expected to rake over the island from southeast to northwest, which explains the tropical storm warning. We're on the nasty side of the system. The system is passing to our left or to our west, but we're still going to be getting on the strong winds and the heavy rainfall. It wouldn't be so bad if the system is passing to our east. That's usually the dry side, not much activity. But this side, we're going to be getting it for sure. Heavy rainfall coming in, especially from the southeast. That moist southeasterly flow. Boys, it's as if Rafael is going to be making up for all of the rainfall that southern Jamaica has been missing out on, because we've seen that northeasterly flow for the past 2 to 3 weeks. As a matter of fact, we've seen the thunderstorms that parts of northern Jamaica has been receiving most afternoons this year in general, and it's as if Rafael is going to do one big punch on the south coast so that maybe we can catch up. Rivers are going to be swollen for sure. Look at the rainfall totals. This is just ridiculous. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find another accumulated precipitation map somewhere here. There was another one somewhere and I don't see it. See how many bookmarks I have? I have millions of bookmarks. But this is basically showing all of what we just said in millimeters. We're going on to the next 48 hours. Showing the rainfall totals. Highlighted this in a video. This one from the GFS now. Showing the next 48 hours. Alright, there we go. This map from the GFS and this map from the Euro are both showing all the rainfall that's expected all the way up until Wednesday. Euro is showing all the way up to 7 a.m. on Wednesday. GFS is showing all the way up to 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Either way, we see the rainfall. We see the reds. And the thing about this imagery is that it's in millimeters. We see the reds that represents anywhere from what? 80 all the way up to 125 millimeters of rainfall, close to 150 in the purples, 175. Look at this. We even have the number right there to the east of us. 221 millimeters of rainfall. That is just ridiculous if that actually verifies. GFS showing something similar all the way up in there with the red. There's going to be a lot of rainfall. That's the thing. The water from this system is definitely going to be doing a lot of damage. Don't look at it and say, oh, it's just a tropical storm. It's just a tropical storm. It's nothing too drastic. We don't normally have the hurricanes, the category 4 or 5s, killing persons because of the wind. Usually persons are usually safe when it comes to the wind. It's usually the water that kills people. If you actually take a look at the statistics, it's usually the systems that pack the most rainfall, the tropical storms, the low-end hurricanes, that causes the most damage, especially if the systems are moving very slowly. I mean, this system is moving slowly. 9 miles per hour is definitely slow. It's right here to the south of us. It should be to the west of us by 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So it's definitely taking its sweet time, moving slowly. Hopefully it speeds up the more it pushes towards the northwest. But it's definitely going to be dumping a lot of rainfall before all is said and done. And there have been persons who have been asking me on social media about what I see in the long range. I don't even want to talk about the long range, because going out all the way up to 360 and 200 and odd hours, that's just ridiculous. I mean, look at this. Case in point, I just fast forward right here and look at this. 228 hours out is showing that on 6Z on Thursday, that's 1 a.m. on Thursday, November 14. What is this another system? Yes, and the GFS has been persistent with that. I don't like to show the GFS, because the GFS has been showing lots of fantasy land kind of things. That's ridiculous. And the people on social media who have been highlighting this, they need to stop, because we know that the GFS will continuously change. We're only going to believe in this happening if we see it within the 168 hour range. This is what the Hurricane Center does. It's more believable, it's more inclined to happen if it is within the next 7 days. Back couple years ago, it used to be between the next 5 days. But they changed it up a bit. They're stating that the forecasts are getting better. But boy, weather is quite a thing that is quite hard to forecast. But let's get the information on what's happening right now. Let's see some of our comments. Time to read some comments. Let's see. Let me know what the weather is like in your area. Feel free to let me know. Let's see right here. Let's zoom in. Alright, so we have some comments here. Let's zoom into some. Scrolling to the latest because boy, there are so many comments or chats to read. Ben Love stating, bro, my family done pack. Where are we going? I'm dead serious, boss. Get to a shelter. Usually they have shelters in the schools in general. Many of these schools can be used as shelters. Get there. We have somebody here speaking Spanish, which I knew what you were talking about. We had Shoppy Sharp stating hit Cuba too as a category 4 hurricane. I wonder which hurricane you're referring to. Akil Lawrence stating, what is the category? The category is still a tropical storm, Akil. As of right now, it's not a category 1 or a category 2 or a category 3 right now. It's packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour according to the latest from the Hurricane Center. Here we have the data right here. It's moving to the north at 9 miles per hour. And Jamaica is currently under tropical storm warning. The Cayman Islands under a red at a hurricane warning. Shoppy Sharp, I have the name of all the hurricanes. I have the name of all the hurricanes too, or the names of the systems for this year in general. All the way from Alberto, Beryl, all the way down to the current system, Rafael. Let's see, need some more comments. We have Raj stating drizzling in Bull Bay, St. Thomas. I'm getting some of that rainfall too in my part of St. Thomas. Yes, I live in St. Thomas too, boss. Nadine and Oscar are out. Yep, cross those off the list. We have Gully Vendetta stating 4 days South Manchester, Rose Hill, rain and little breeze. Let's see. We have we have lots of comments coming in here. Dimple stating windy and rain in Portmore. Jason, you're stating that the GFS has been properly predicting this air flow pressure. That's no, Rafael, since about Friday. Yeah, we've been seeing GFS predicting, but if we remember, as a matter of fact, let's go back in time. This is why I have this website, you know. Let's go back all the way to October 28. Let us see what the GFS was showing. Because back then, I think it was showing something along the lines of a system that might have been going to this kind of direction, more so to Hispaniola, if not to Puerto Rico, if we actually have the data to show. There it is, pushing into Hispaniola. That was what was predicted from the GFS, and we see that's what. That was from October 28, and it was valid for 246 hours out. And we see how inaccurate that was. We see what exactly took place instead. This is why we can't just depend on the GFS. We have to look at the consensus with what the US GFS model, that's the global forecast system, as well as the European model is showing. We have to always look at them side by side to get the most accurate forecast. We can't just look at the GFS and run with what it's saying. The GFS can be crazy sometimes, especially out in the long range. I think the GFS was a bit more accurate back in the day, back anywhere from between 2018 and 2020, or 2017 and 2020. Those days, back then when I used to use the GFS, it was definitely more accurate, but we know these things go. They're going to come in with some updates. I think there was an update in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, and there was another update to the GFS in 2022. And you know, sometimes these updates can cause some glitches sometimes. So yes, the GFS can be accurate sometimes it's not so accurate. The euro can be accurate sometimes it's not so accurate. This is why we have to work with the consensus on what both the supercomputer models are showing. And as of right now, both of them are in consensus that Rafael should be right here to the west of us on 7 a.m. on Tuesday, right here on the euro. GFS showing something similar, right? Let's see, let's find the GFS right here. They won't even show any other supercomputer model. So we're looking at the GFS and the euro. That's what we see. And hurricane season is not done yet, and we have a lot of warm water to work with, both at the surface right here and the deeper into the ocean we go. So let's see if we can actually get another system just like what the long range GFS is showing. I won't put my hat on it. I don't believe it at all, but guess I'll have to eat my words with a fork later on if it actually verifies. Alright, so let us see some more comments. Let's read some more. Let's see what's happening. Look at the system, man. It's definitely trying to get its act together. Look at the deep convection. This is just ridiculous. Look at the latest still image. 22:30 UTC is as of, let's say, what, 18 minutes ago. So I believe in the next, what, 2-3 minutes, we're going to be having the 22:40. That's the 5:40 p.m. update. But as of right now, this is what we're seeing. Definitely some heavy rainfall off to the south of the island, getting ready to come inland. We're definitely going to get it. Definitely in store for some bad weather in general. But let's read some comments, shall we? Prosperity, I like how you're talking. Would you like to become, I believe, a moderator? Let me know if you're still here so I can give you the moderator job, because I know that there are many persons in the chat who might be having some crazy arguments as we speak, boy, and I can't be there moderating while I'm giving the weather update at all. We had Lavon Hill sitting raining and windy in Spanish Town. Ben Love, so bro, did you see my chat that weather Jamaica red? What can I call him as an what are you guys even talking about? Talk to me, guys. What's the weather like in your area? Georgia, flights during a tropical storm tomorrow from Kingston. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to call the Norman Manley International Airport. But given the situation regarding the bad weather, I highly doubt it. Especially if Kingston is getting the tropical storm force winds at the time. Those planes would definitely have a hard time to leave or land. For sure. Don't want any accidents during this time, especially when there's a tropical storm affecting the island. Let's see. Alright, Chevy. Your light post is rocking, Rain Grant. You should have called the Jamaica Public Service. They would have come in and possibly replaced it. Who knows? Maybe that could be hazardous. Maybe the light post can fall. Maybe you'll be out of electricity. Or whatever the case may be. Something needs to be done about that. Let's call them and see what they have to say about that. We have Everton Henry sitting. We have rain in St. Mary now. Her Alexia Dacre sitting. When would this storm pass? This storm should be passing by tomorrow evening. It should be out of here by tomorrow evening. According to the latest from the Hurricane Center, it should be here to the west of the island, to the west of Hanover and Westmoreland by 1 p.m. on Tuesday. It should be here to the north of the Cayman Islands by 1 a.m. on Wednesday. But even if it is there, we see that it's also going to be bumped up to hurricane status in the H. And I've already highlighted that even when the system is out of here, look at where it's at. 3Z on Wednesday is actually 10 p.m. on Tuesday. This is where it should be, just like what we see on the Hurricane Center. We're still going to be getting in on moisture coming in from the south from that time. All of this moisture trying to wrap into the system and wrap all the way around it like this in a counterclockwise fashion. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus with that forecast. A moist southeasterly flow still to be bringing a lot of rainfall to portion of the island. So even if the system is far from us, we're still going to be getting in on that. The wind direction has a lot to do with the outcome in general. The system should be right here, close to the southern coast of Cuba, but look at the wind direction according to the GFS. That's southeasterly flow, and with that southeasterly flow, we're going to be having a lot of moisture coming in from the south and coming into portion of some southern parishes. And we know our southern parishes, we're talking about St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland. Eastern parishes, you know, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. But what's happening right now? If you have any comments, leave them in the chat section. Let me know what's going on. We see the clouds associated with Rafael starting to come in. We've already had a huge downpour here in St. Thomas that spilled into Portland, St. Mary, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon. We see the latest Cuban Doppler radar images right here, bringing some amount of rainfall to sections of most parishes as we speak. Don't see much taking place across St. Elizabeth, St. James Trelawney, or Western St. Anne right now. But we can definitely see that rainfall leaving Hanover and Westmoreland. As a matter of fact, let's reload this, that we have the very latest images. And the very latest images just came out at, well, the very latest image just came out at 5:50 p.m. So this just came out 4 minutes ago. So we can definitely make out that we still have some leftover rainfall in the greens across section of Western Westmoreland, Western Hanover. We have some rainfall now plaguing portion of Southern St. Elizabeth, Southern Clarendon, Southern Manchester, Clarendon, well, St. Catherine, section of Kingston, St. Andrew, section of St. Thomas. I hear the rainfall outside in my area of St. Thomas, section of Portland, St. Mary, getting in on the action too. But what's happening in your area? Bring on the comments or bring on the chats, guys. Let me know what's happening. What time it will make it towards Jamaica? Definitely tonight into early tomorrow morning. That's when we're going to be getting in on the brunt of it. J. Kiero. Look at this. This is showing what's going to be happening. Tonight into tomorrow morning. This is when we're going to be getting the brunt. The Euro and the GFS malls. 3 a.m. That's when we're going to be getting on the brunt of the system. Some very heavy rainfall. Look at the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the purples, the pinks. That's just ridiculous amounts of rainfall. If this actually verifies, we're going to be in for some very bad weather in general. So please ensure that if you live in a flood prone area, you follow these tips as much as you possibly can. Avoid areas subject to sudden flooding. Do not attempt to cross rivers or flowing streams where water is above the knee. Beware of water covered roads and bridges. Do not go swimming or boating in swollen rivers. Eat only well cooked food. Protect leftovers against contamination. Drink clean or preferably boiled water only. And finally, move to higher ground. Do not attempt to drive through a flooded road. We've seen so many times, especially these taxi men or these bus drivers, blatantly drive through with passengers, even although they know that their vehicle is not invincible. They are susceptible to shutting down. They are susceptible to being washed away. We saw what happened a week or so ago in, was it St. Mary? That somebody was crossing off, I believe it was a fording, and they got washed away. Boy, we don't want anything like that to be happening at all. I hope everybody is taking the necessary precautions so that they're not that drastically affected. Get to a shelter. Don't be traveling during this time. The system is about to start doing the worst. Do we have any more comments? Any more chats? We had Andres stating light rain in Meadowbrook. Alright, so it sounds like the rainfall is definitely spreading across section of the island. It's overcast here in Maroon Town area. It was falling hard. Guys, please ensure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel, Weather Jamaica. And we have other social media platforms where we post things throughout the day. Our Instagram page, weather.jamaica. Or Twitter page, Weather Jamaica. Or Facebook page, Weather Jamaica 876. And our TikTok page, Weather Jamaica. We post some very useful things throughout the day, every day on our social media platforms. We post a video on our YouTube platform every evening regarding the weather across Jamaica for today as well as the next day. So we report on what happened today as well as what's going to be happening the next day. We don't normally do the long range forecast because the long range can definitely change, and I'd rather be more accurate than anything else. I want to give a forecast for Friday this week and then your ear didn't get it because we're in a warming climate. Climate change causes the weather to change for sure. Don't want to be giving you guys inaccurate info. So if you're here right now, if it's your first time here, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to increase to at least 30,000 subscribers before we wrap up the hurricane season. You see the content that I post is weather related content, and I try to be as accurate and thorough as possible. As a matter of fact, persons are like, why they don't like watching my videos because my videos are too long and this and that. Guys, what we need to understand about my videos is that in the chat section, well, in the description, I insert timestamps. So I would have the introduction. Persons are saying, oh, my introduction is too long. Guys, you can literally fast forward the video. No one is forcing you to sit through the entire video. Yes, I know my videos are my YouTube videos are very long. They're about competing with a TV show or 1 hour show, you name it. I know. I try to be as thorough and accurate as possible. So what I want you to do, go into the description or go into the comment section where I've posted the information highlighting that I want for you guys to click through, or you can use this little thing right here. It will show you that, oh, we're talking about what the Hurricane Center and supercomputer models are showing there. We're talking about the local validation and community feedback, because I love to read you guys' comments as well to find out what the weather is like in your area. The current conditions, I look at the visible satellite images, I look at the infrared satellite images, I look at the Doppler radar images, and I look at the future for Jamaica's weather, and I also look at the future for the rest of the Caribbean's weather. So if I were you, definitely subscribe so that you're not missing out. We're definitely taking this weather community seriously. We know that there are a lot of other YouTube channels out there that you already subscribe to, or you'll never leave, but it doesn't hurt to subscribe to more than one to have more information so that you're not left out at all. So if it's your first time here, subscribe. Try to get this channel up to 30,000 subscribers. If you're on this live stream right now, like the video for sure. Alright, so let's go back to the latest infrared satellite images of Jamaica. Alright, so we can see the latest image right here is as of 40 UTC. So that's what? 2240 UTC. So that's as of 5:40 p.m. We can definitely see this just came out. Well, I'm pretty sure that if I reload the image right now, it should show 50 minutes past the hour as the latest one. Alright, there we go. So there we have. So it's 22:50 now. So this one just came out 12 minutes ago. We can see what's happening. I mean, look at how huge Rafael is right now. Huge. This morning, many persons were on Instagram and Twitter stating that, oh, the system looks like a mess right now. This is Jamaica, by the way. This is Eastern Cuba getting in on some of the thunderstorms. Haiti, the Dominican Republic getting in on a lot of the thunderstorms. But look at this. The heaviest weather associated with Rafael is still off to our south. As much as the Hurricane Center is stating that the system is moving to the north at 9 miles per hour, to be honest, the system looks like it's stuck down there all day. It's taking its sweet time. It's definitely evaporating and sucking up a lot of the very warm sea surface temperatures that we spoke about. Look how warm the waters are to the south of Jamaica. Look at the orange. That's bath water. This is how warm the waters are at the skin of the ocean, the surface of the ocean. And with the lack of El Nino, the fact that we have more of a La Nina-like setup, it's been neutral since Beryl. So we know that all we need is the lack of El Nino to basically, cause us to be in more of a state where we can get more systems developing. Because if we don't have an El Nino, we don't have that strong upper level wind shear tearing the tops of thunderstorms apart because of the numerous thunderstorms taking place across this side of the world. That's the difference between El Nino and La Nina. So we're getting in on that La Nina. I'm not sure if the NOAA has already announced it as yet officially, but we see what's taking place. The Atlantic is still doing the most because of the very warm sea surface temperatures, not to mention the very warm ocean heat content. Look at how the waters are the deeper into the ocean we go. And if we get a system to sit over this area for the longest while, just like what Rafael has been doing, it could definitely be churning up even more warm water and get even stronger, which is why I've been saying that I wouldn't be surprised if on the Hurricane Center's cone we see an M showing up. We know the M's represent major hurricane status, and a major hurricane is anywhere from category 3 to category 5, packing anywhere from 111 to 157 mile per hour winds. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens at all. Definitely a bad setup in general. The system is definitely trying to take advantage of the very warm waters. And one thing we shouldn't be let's say shocked about is the fact that the temperatures, the air temperatures, the temperatures that the sun gives off every day is so hot. We walk around sweating, so very humid across the island in general. It shouldn't be shocking to anyone because the waters in and around the island are very warm as well, especially around Jamaica. I mean, look at the air around Jamaica. I'm pretty sure that it's not that hot across the Eastern Caribbean as though it's hot around Jamaica. The mere fact that the warmest waters across the entire basin in general, the entire Atlantic basin, is in and around Jamaica. Look at the dark reds that we can see by the key on the bottom right. This is the latest tropical cyclone heat potential that came out today, November 4. We see all of this very warm water extending into the Western Caribbean, close to the Yucatan Peninsula, in and around the Cayman Islands. We're definitely in for some bad weather in general. If this system, Rafael, continues to take advantage of all of these very warm waters as it pushes towards the north, towards Jamaica. Look at this latest infrared. System definitely bubbling up. The system is still to the south of us. All we've had so far is just a few of the clouds. We see most of them pushing off now towards the north of us. We see a kind of break in between with the clouds. Right here we see more greens and blues. Maybe some clouds dying out. What's next? This is next. Definitely an interesting night tonight. Boy, the system is something else. The system has been stalling all day. Now the system is pushing upwards. Get ready for some severe weather. Get ready for some flash flooding. It's going to be bad in general. Alright, so let's go back and see what's taking place. So we already spoke about the fact that we're in November. So we should be tapering off in terms of the tropical activity. We see this mountain right here showing the Atlantic hurricane and tropical storm activity based on data from 1944 to 2020. And we see that the peak of Atlantic hurricane season, as I always begin my video, is anywhere between August right here and October right here. The peak of Atlantic hurricane season. I don't know why people think I'm saying that hurricane season runs from August to October. I never said that. I said the peak of hurricane season is from August to October. But we can still have activity in November. We're in the first 4 days of November and we're still having activity, even though we should be falling off. And I hope that you see that we can get activity in December, as well as in May. We've had many Mays in the past 2 decades where we've had systems form in that month. But in December, not so much, but it can still happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, given the very warm sea surface temperatures, as well as the very warm ocean heat content still out there. I'm pretty sure that even after Rafael passes, the waters are still going to be very warm, which explains why so many long-range GFS runs have been showing something again in the Caribbean later on. But I won't even want to get into that, because that's long-range, that fantasy land. So yes, we should be right here. We're in the month of November, tapering off in terms of tropical storm and hurricane activity. As usual, during this time period, from November 1 to November 10, based on data from 1851 to 2023, this is where we've had the systems forming. Most of the clusters in the Western Caribbean to the west of Jamaica, and in the Southwestern Caribbean, that's where we had Rafael form, and it did something like this, come closer to South America or northern South America. Then it's trying now to push up, and it's expected to push off towards the northwest. But as of right now, the Hurricane Center is stating that the system is moving north at 9 miles per hour. Shouldn't it be moving towards the northwest if it's expected to do a kind of motion like this to the west of the island? If it's moving north right now at 9 miles per hour, it should be doing something like that, coming north closer to Jamaica like this. Hopefully it doesn't make landfall, because we see that it's expected to become an H by the time it's directly to the west of us. Could be a hurricane. I wouldn't be surprised if as of their next update, they're going to be issuing an intermediate advisory within the next 51 minutes at 7 p.m. They're going to come out with something else. So I hope that we're actually paying attention to what the Hurricane Center is saying. They're a definite credible source of information. They're the ones who fly the planes into these systems in general. So I hope that you're all getting your information from them as well. If we take a look at, let's see, what's next to take a look at. So we just highlighted the deep convection. I mean, it's already deep. Look at the blacks, look at the grays, look at the pinks. And all of this is expected to push towards the northwest and affect Jamaica later on tonight. We're definitely going to be getting it. Let's look at the latest infrared. The latest infrared. Look at the reds. Look at the whites within those reds. That's ridiculous. This is the image that I use for my DP in general, or the infrared that I use for my DP. We know that the DP is actually Hurricane Ivan, but we know that we're used to this image. This is what we saw on primetime news back in the day when we had Evan Thompson on TV. This is what we're used to, and we also like the rainbow satellite image as well. Let's get the very latest, showing what's happening regarding Rafael. Look at the deep reds. All of this is set to come on the shore tonight as the system pushes. Let's see, let me fix that. The system is expected to do something like this. And the heaviest weather on the right hand side of it, as well as the strong winds according to the Hurricane Center. This right here is showing the wind field, the goldish colors. And if the system passes to the left or to the west of us, we're going to be getting on those tropical storm force winds, packing winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. That can cause damage. That can definitely cause a lot of damage. I just looked at, I believe, the Doppler radar for Hurricane Beryl. And if we remember, majority of what passed over most of Jamaica was tropical storm force winds, and most of the hurricane force wind was around the center of Beryl. And we saw what the eye wall did of Beryl. The I1 dark greens and the yellows definitely brush southern Clarendon, southern Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland with the strongest winds and heaviest rainfall. That's why they got up to 3 months or so long to get, where it took so long for them to get back electricity or even internet. I even heard some of them complaining that even though they haven't got back their internet and they're still getting bills. It's just ridiculous in general, but it's understandable. They had a whole category 4 hurricanes eye wall cross over their area. I mean, can you imagine if the eye wall had crossed over the entirety of the country, entirety of the island of Jamaica in general? This is what Beryl did. Most of what we got was tropical storm force winds, and we're going to be in for some of that within the next 24 to 48 hours. So there's going to be power outages. There's going to be down trees, if not tree limbs. There's going to be a lot of flash flooding. We've highlighted the rainfall forecast maps numerous times here. Look at all of the rainfall that's expected and the accumulated precipitation. Look at this. This is showing all of the rainfall that's expected in millimeters. The pinks into the reds and the purples that represent anywhere from 80 all the way up to 150 millimeters of rainfall. The GFS even more robust with all of that, especially across eastern Jamaica, where we're seeing totals of 221 millimeters of rainfall. This map right here showing it all in inches. 4.13 inches, 3.27 inches in Kingston, Clarendon 3.02 inches, St. Thomas 4.7 inches. GFS is even more ridiculous with the rainfall totals. Look at this. If this actually verifies, we're definitely going to be waking up to flooding tomorrow, if not throughout the day on Tuesday. 5.2 inches expected across section of Hanover, 9.31 inches across section of St. Elizabeth, 8.06 inches across Manchester, 6.09 inches across Clarendon, 3.65 inches across section of Kingston and St. Andrew, 4.94 inches across section of St. Thomas, 4.41 inches across Portland. This is just ridiculous, and we know all of this is being represented by what's calculated or collected on the rain gauge. We know that rainfall is measured in inches, especially in the United States, in millimeters in Jamaica. 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. So you can do the math yourself with this little graphic right here, and the Hurricane Center is very adamant with that rainfall forecast. As a matter of fact, let's look at some of the other graphics that they have here on the Hurricane Center's website. So something similar to what they showed, well, what I've been showing all along. This year they've increased their graphic counts. They've included this one showing the total rainfall, a very good tool in general. We see the green, we see the yellows, we see the gold that represents anywhere from 2 all the way up to 8 inches of rainfall, especially for southern and eastern Jamaica. This is definitely flood triggering rainfall. That's anywhere from 50 all the way up to 200 millimeters of rainfall. We're happy that the north coast is going to be getting on more, so 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, especially across section of St. Mary, where they've been getting in on the heavy rainfall for the past 2 weeks. That moist northeasterly flow, that relief rainfall, they've been getting in on that, and there's a lot more of that to come throughout the day tomorrow. So get ready, there's going to be a lot of flash flooding taking place. Let's see what's happening regarding the other graphics. We see what's happening here. This is the tropical storm force wind speed probabilities, and we can see the greens, we can see the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the purples. This is just ridiculous. This is showing the chances that we're going to be having the tropical storm force winds affecting us, and we see that especially across western Jamaica, they're going to be getting in on the highest chance, that's the 90% chance, that they're going to be getting in on the tropical storm force winds for sure. Not saying that the eastern side can't get it, but we're definitely going to be getting it the most across western Jamaica. if there are gonna be power outages, if there are gonna be tree limbs or trees down or damaged, the western side of the island is going to be getting it the most according to this probability map, as the system is expected to push towards the northwest. We see where the system is located, and we see that it's to the east of the system that the strongest winds are going to be expected. So get ready for all of that if you're living in western Jamaica. More power outages anywhere from Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover for sure. Alright, let's get back to some of the comments. Let's see what's happening. Drip, it's not like you just forward, man. When is the storm coming? I've been telling you, boss. Let's see. We have more comments coming in. Sarah, if you'd like to become a moderator, you know, you can definitely clean it up for me, because boy, I'm not paying attention to the chat at all. I'm not paying attention. Let me know what the weather is like in your area, guys. Alright, Shani, Lanina Diamond. Alright. Marty, what are you talking about, man? You're telling me it's at 45 miles per hour. That's what I've been saying all along. But the system is expected to strengthen. That's what we need to understand. It's right here, the mom. I never give anything else. I told you that the system is packing maximum sustained wind of 45 miles per hour. That's what I've been saying all along. It's moving to the north at 9 miles per hour. And the system is expected to strengthen the more it comes towards the island. It's expected to become an Asia's hurricane status by the time it's to the west of us. So if it's packing maximum sustained winds right now of 45 miles per hour, which we know tropical storms pack winds of anywhere from 39 to 73 miles per hour, and the fact that it's going to be strengthening the more it comes towards us, so it should be anywhere from 45 all the way up to 73 mile per hour winds that it's packing, all the way up to the point where it's to the west of the island and becomes a category 1 hurricane, where it's expected to become anywhere from a 74 to 95 mile per hour hurricane. I hope you understood that for sure. Let's see if we have any more comments. We have Prosperity stating it's probably 50 mile per hour now, sustained. What are you guys seeing in your area? What's happening now in your parish? Alright, we had Luke and Bryant here stating just slight showers in Clarendon, Kadisha, raining lightly in Upper St. Andrew. Let's see. We have Sarah Thomas right here stating rained heavily in West St. Thomas earlier. Ease up now. I got some of that rainfall in my portion of St. Thomas as well. Sarah, thanks for letting me know. We have Lonnie Johnson here. I think it's calm in White House, Westmoreland right now. For now, but boy, tonight into tomorrow, quite something. We have Mark Davidson here. Stating it's raining on and off here in Southeast St. Elizabeth. We have Zai Pro X stating rain in Maypen now, but not too heavy. Captain Duncan, what time can we expect rain island wide? Captain Duncan, the rain started a long time ago, boss. Look at the latest infrared satellite image right here. The rain has been coming in. We saw the reds, we saw the blacks that came in from the south. Definitely large portions of St. Thomas, Portland, section of Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, sections of St. Mary for sure. And we saw that we're definitely getting on thunderstorms earlier across sections of Westmoreland, Hanover, section of St. James and Trelawney too. And if we match what we just saw on the latest infrared satellite images to the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, and the latest image just came out at, let's see, we're reloading the images right now. So give it a second as it loads. Alright. The latest image just came out at 6:10 p.m. So that was what, 12 minutes ago. We can see the greens, we can see the yellows that represent some moderate to heavy rainfall like what we're seeing on the key on the right. For anywhere across Jamaica from the east all the way to the west. Definitely some heavy rainfall still coming into portion of St. Thomas right now. That's going to be the order of the night tonight. Lots of flash flooding, lots of heavy rainfall. And I'll definitely be here on the live stream all night tonight. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can actually do it, if I'm not going to get exhausted or hungry or whatever the case may be. Alright, give me a second. Let me go and use the restroom for a second. I need a restroom break. I've been doing this for 2 hours. Alright, I'm back. Let's see what's going on now. I tried to comment saying, how's the weather in you guys here? Let me know what's happening. Feel free to post it in the chat. Ben, would you like to be a moderator, boss? You said, Carson, no hate speech, please. Need some moderators because, boy, I'm not paying attention to the chat at all. So as soon as you see the rubbish going on in the chat section, feel free to clean it up. We have Robel Morris here stating, rains have started in Angels, Digicel, our cable down. Really already? Like seriously? Ready? But wait, this is just the beginning of the rainfall. We haven't even got the winds or the heaviest rainfall as yet. Alright. Marty, you want to be a moderator? Hold on, let me see that. Let me see something first. I have to see what's going on. It's raining heavily in St. Anne from Marty Gillen. Alright, Marty, I can give you moderator status. I was checking to see if you were arguing with somebody and you wanted to have revenge. Because I know I've seen this happen before. Even some WhatsApp groups, people are arguing and then they beg for admin position and then, oh, I'm gonna kick out the person who I was arguing with. Alright, so there you go. Clean it up for me, please. Thank you very much. Alright, Gloria asked whether Jamaica is Rafael's wind speed equal or weaker than Beryl. Alright, so Beryl was a category 4 hurricane. Okay, Beryl was a category 4. Let's look back at the Doppler radar images of Beryl. Alright, Beryl was a category 4. But what we need to understand about Beryl is that its hurricane force winds, I wish I could pause this GIF image. Its hurricane force winds were mainly around the center, or basically in the eye wall. That's where most of the hurricane force winds for Beryl were located, which is why the areas that were scraped by the eye wall, like southern Clarendon, southern Manchester, St. Elizabeth section of Westmoreland, got the brunt of the damage in general. This area right in here that I'm following, this is the eye wall around the eye. That's where the strongest winds, that is where the 130 to 156 mile per hour category 4 winds were located. But the tropical storm force winds, the 39 to 73 mile per hour winds, extended far out, and it's mainly the tropical storm force winds that affected most of the island in general. That's what we got across the west of the island. In all of those strong, in all of the thunderstorms that we got in general, all of the heavy rainfall that we got in general. And we're going to be in for some more of that, considering that Rafael is on his way, and we've seen the wind speed probabilities that the Hurricane Center has highlighted, especially for Western Jamaica. There's a 90% chance that they're going to be getting in on the brunt of the tropical storm force winds. And we see how far they've extended outward. We see, let us zoom in a bit more, because I want to highlight how the system looks. We see how big the tropical storm wind field is, and we see how big Jamaica is. Basically small. So a huge chunk of the island, especially the central and western portion of the island, especially the western side, is going to be getting in on that tropical storm force wind, which explains why the probability keeps going down the more east we go. The 50 to 60 range across eastern Jamaica, the 70 to 90 range across central Jamaica, western Jamaica and the purple, definitely going to be getting in on the tropical storm force winds for sure. And just for reference, for those of you who don't know, we know central parishes. We're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. Or western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth. Eastern Jamaica, yes, we can get on some of the strong winds as well, but not as much as what Western Jamaica is going to get, especially if Rafael does this track that the Hurricane Center states that it's supposed to do. More of a northwestward track, passing us to the west. But the thing is, as of right now, the Hurricane Center has it packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. And it's moving to the north at 9 miles per hour. If the system is expected to go like this, it should be moving more so to the northwest. What we should be seeing right here is northwest movement, not north movement. North movement is directly up towards Jamaica. So if it's moving towards the north right now, and it's expected to do more of a track towards this direction, missing the entire island in general in terms of landfall, then it should make that left turn shortly. It should make that left turn shortly, but what if it doesn't? Sometimes these systems have a mind of their own. Sometimes the steering, sometimes the projected path, sometimes it's just not 100% accurate. Yesterday or this morning, we didn't see an H to the west of Jamaica, but as of the latest 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time advisory, there's an H there to signal that the system is expected to become a hurricane. It's expected to increase from 45 to 73 mile per hour winds as it's inching closer to the island. It's expected to be packing winds of 74, between 74 and 95 miles per hour when it's right here to the west of the island. 1 p.m. on Tuesday, it should be a hurricane right there. So it's strengthening the more it comes towards us. Western Jamaica definitely going to be getting in on the bad weather. And the thing that we need to understand about the projected path, I've said it before and I'll say it again, the system can be on the left edge of this. The system can be on the middle, or the system can be on the right edge of it, possibly making landfall into St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, into Hanover right there. So we're definitely going to be in for some bad weather in general as the system pushes towards us. Let's see if we have any more comments coming in. Tamika Paul Alexander, rain come down and we went reach Mobile this morning. Before I even continue, guys, are you subscribed? Are you subscribed to our channel? I'm going to my channel to see what's going on. All right, so we're 27.9k. All right, wonderful. So we jumped up to 28k subscribers. Guys, my goal is 30,000 subscribers. YouTube has told me that so many persons are watching. When I go into the analytics and look at the details, YouTube has told me that so many persons are watching my videos, or maybe watching this live stream right now, and you guys are not subscribed. Subscribe. Wait, we have a whole community on YouTube of so many good weather folk. We have Weather Girl Danny, who lives in Montego Bay. We have Mr. Weatherman, I think he lives in Florida. Many of you guys are subscribed to him. So many other YouTube channels out there that give such valuable information. Let's just build one big happy family of weather fans, pluviophiles, people who love rain in general. Clearly you can see my videos. I post videos every evening, and I've been posting them in the mornings as well, especially given the system that's coming. And I know that many of you are going to say, oh boy, Weather Jamaica, your video them too long. I know my videos are very long. Some videos up to 40 minutes, up to 50 minutes, you name it. I know this. But what you need to understand is that I've included timestamps. You need to learn to use the timestamps. You can't just be there forcing yourself to sit through a whole 40-minute YouTube video. What you need to do is use the timestamps. Oh, I don't want to see the introduction. I already like the video. What's the U.S. Hurricane Center saying? Let's skip to that part. Top. Use the little search area at the bottom in red to see what you want to see the most. Do you want to see local validation, community feedback, see the comments? Do you want to see what's happening across Jamaica right now, the current conditions? What do you want to see the most? Do you want to see Jamaica's rainfall forecast? Just skip to the end of the video. Do you want to see the wave and wind forecast? Skip to this timestamp in the video. It's in the description, and I've also posted a comment in the video highlighting the same, so you can use the timestamps to your advantage. Don't force yourself to watch the entire video. I don't want you to do that. I just want you to skip through, see what you want to see the most, and then be on your merry way. And as it relates to live streams, I hardly post live streams. But I haven't done this live streaming thing since, I believe, 2020, when I used to play a lot of video games back in the day. But now, I'm trying to take this meteorology thing a bit more seriously. Definitely going to do something about it. Need that meteorology degree as soon as possible. Alright. So as we continue, we can see that Rafael definitely strengthening, definitely looking formidable, definitely looking even more impressive than he did yesterday, for sure. Let's see if we reload this, what's going to be happening. Let's see if we have the latest infrared rainbow satellite image. Doesn't seem like it wants to load for me at all. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if the website glitched out, because there are so many persons using these websites. I remember when we had Milton, the Hurricane Center's website glitched out, crashed. So I wouldn't be surprised if even these websites are glitching out, because many persons are using them to watch what's happening with Rafael. Let's see if the Weather Nerds website is working regarding the latest infrared. Let's see if it's a whole thing. Okay, because I thought my internet was out. Very good. So it looks like it's this website that's having some issues with the reloading of the pages. No problem, because the Weather Nerds website is here to save the day. So we can say that the latest infrared that just came out at 23:25 UTC, which is actually 6:25 p.m. Jamaica time. So this just came out 11 minutes ago. We can definitely see the thunderstorms that's already left Westmoreland, Hanover, and St. James, definitely in the clear for the most part. No, still getting on some isolated showers though in some spots. You can see the rainfall that affected section of St. Thomas earlier, section of Portland, section of St. Mary, St. Catherine, Clarendon. As a matter of fact, section of St. Thomas are still getting in some amount of rainfall, according to the latest Cuban Doppler radar images. Let's reload these images so that we have the very latest. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's happening right now. Alright, so the very latest Cuban Doppler radar image just came out at 6:30 p.m. So this just came out 7 minutes ago, considering that it's 7:37 p.m. right now. We can definitely make out the rainfall still coming into portion of St. Thomas, Portland section of St. Anne, St. Mary getting on the action. So to Kingston, St. Andrews, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Southern St. Elizabeth, Manchester. You can see that rainfall exiting Hanover and Westmoreland as well. But let's see what the latest is showing from you guys. Let's see what are the comments like. Thank you very much for watching, Miss Smith, Charmaine. Appreciate you keeping us informed on a daily basis. I watch your videos every day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Siobhan Walker, no storm in Westmoreland. Siobhan, all of the rain is in the east right now. It's coming, boss. It's coming. Don't worry yourself. When it starts, you're going to want to stop, because it's going to be so much rain. I have Michael Morris stating good work. Alia Francis, you're welcome, Marty. Marty Gillen. Thank you. I agree. I'm always right. What are you guys talking about? Kwan, you want to be a moderator? Let me see something first. I want to see. Hold on, Kwan. Kwan has just been asking to get moderator, so hold on then, boss. I just want to see to make sure that you weren't having any fights with anybody and you want to take revenge. Alright, I don't see anything from you with nobody else, so you can definitely get moderator, because boy, I'm not paying attention to the chat at all, and I know the chat can definitely get nasty. Sometimes persons having fights and arguments over God knows what. Guys, there's a storm coming. What is there to be cursing and fighting about? There's no need for that. Alright, Kwan, you're a moderator now. Do something about the cleansing of the chat. It will be much appreciated. Alright, so let's continue. What's happening in your area? No, Marty, I'm not paying attention to the chat like that. You see, I'm focusing on what's happening. And we're going to be getting a brand new update from the Hurricane Center. In the next 21 minutes, we're going to be getting the intermediate advisory regarding what Rafael is doing. Alright, there we go. The website states that the gateway timeout. So the website that I've been using. Okay, there we go. Seems to be back. Alright, let's go back. Let's see what's happening regarding the latest. Let's see if it's actually the latest. 20 UTC. Let's see. Yeah, 20 UTC is the latest for you. So the latest, this is what's happening. Look at Milton, not Milton. Look at Rafael. Rafael is right here. Look at all of the clouds, the showers, the thunderstorms. The heaviest weather off to the south of Jamaica. Definitely trying to take advantage of that warm sea surface temperature and ocean heat content in general. Definitely trying to get its act together. Heaviest weather off to the south of us right now. But later on tonight, my goodness, it's going to get ridiculous. And I can hear the rainfall again in my portion of St. Thomas. Definitely some bad weather in general. Flooding is definitely going to be possible. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you guys live in a flood prone area, please ensure that you follow these safety tips. Move to higher ground. Get to a shelter. Many of these schools can be used as shelters. You know that. Do not attempt to drive through a flooded road. Your vehicle is not invincible. It can definitely shut down, leave you stranded, wash you and your vehicle away. We don't want to hear any news tomorrow or on Wednesday that anybody was washed away or killed because of Rafael at all. 1 foot of water will float vehicles. 2 feet of rushing water can carry most vehicles, including SUVs. Do not drive around a barricade. If somewhere is barricaded off, please ensure that you guys find another route. Turn around, don't drown. So as stated, the clouds are coming in, the rainfall still coming in, heavy rainfall, moderate rainfall. This is just the beginning, guys. We've talked about what the forecast is showing. We're approaching the 7 p.m. The 7 p.m. From the Euro as well as from the GFS has been showing the blues that represent rainfall affecting sections of some southern and eastern parishes. Right there. And even as we head into 12 a.m., midnight tonight, it's going to be getting even worse. Look at the dark blues, look at the greens coming into section of southern and eastern Jamaica. Look at the same on the GFS. The heaviest weather is still off to the south, but it's definitely coming in. And then by about 3 a.m., most of that should be on land. Look at the Euro, dark blues, greens, heavy rainfall into southern Jamaica, anywhere from Westmoreland eastward, southern parishes. You know we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. And we see what's going on. We see the tremendous bout of rainfall. We don't normally see this on the 1 hour totals at all. This is valid for 3 a.m. This is what's expected tomorrow morning, bright and early. We're going to be waking up to flooding. We're going to be waking up to bad news. Inundation, flooding, landslides, you name it. This is some ridiculous amount of rainfall. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. We don't normally get this kind of rainfall. There's going to be flooding for sure. And as it relates to the winds, we've seen the wind speed. First of all, let's look at the waves. There are a lot of fisher folk who watch these videos as well. So we're going to be looking at the waves and the wind. So it makes sense that the waves coming in should be anywhere, showing the purples all the way up into the, let's say, I think this is orange color, representing anywhere from 2 all the way to what, 6 meter wave heights, as we can see by the key on the bottom. And it should be coming in especially across the southern portion of the island, south coast, high wave heights. Nobody should be out there on boats right now fishing at all, and that's because the winds are going to be strong. Look at the winds. We see the greens that represents 15 to 20 knot winds right here on the bottom right. We see the yellows, we see the gold, we see the burgundies all the way up into the slight blues right there, that we know represents anywhere from 25 all the way up to what, close to 60 knot winds. And see it here, this is what we're talking about. The 60 knot winds all the way down to the 34 knot winds represents the same as 39 to 73 mile per hour winds, tropical storm force winds. That's what we're going to be getting in, some strong winds that could definitely cause power outages. They can definitely cause trees to be down, branches of trees to be down as well. Hope that person's trimmed the trees in their area, because boy, there could be some power outages. You don't want to wake up tomorrow and you're the only person in the neighborhood without electricity or without internet. If you see a tree that could fall, or maybe the tree branch could fall on your light well, do something about it. I know it might be too late right now, boy. Let's hope for the best. But we can see that the hurricane center has the maximum sustained winds right now at 45 miles per hour, and it's expected to become an H by the time it's to the west of us. That's hurricane status. That's 74 mile per hour winds. And more than likely, if it's going to be hurricane status to the west of us, that means on its way to Jamaica tonight, the system is expected to strengthen, and it has already been strengthening. I mean, look at the latest infrared. Look at this. The system is definitely concentrating now. Look at the greens, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, the whites within those reds that represents the deeper convection. This is as of 23:30 UTC. So this just came out 30 minutes past the hour. So that's 6:30. That was 16 minutes ago. This is what's happening. This is some ridiculous rainfall. Lots of rainfall in general. And that's coming towards us. We see what was taking place on the visible before we started losing the sunlight. We see the flow around the system's center of circulation. We see the feeder band stretching all the way from the north of Colombia as well as Panama right there. We see how far the clouds stretch all the way even into portion of the Central Caribbean, into portion of the Dominican Republic as well. It's definitely going to be bad. But what are you guys receiving right now in terms of the weather? What's going on in your parish? Alia, boy, it's not a matter of JPS take too long to give people them lights, no man. But boy, you guys got a whole category 4 hurricane. That's understandable. That's understandable. The infrastructure was damaged. Damaged bad. That's a category 4. Hopefully we don't get anything like that within the next decade. Don't want any more barrels at all. We don't want any more of that within our timeline, in our generation at all. Then it's stating it start raining in East Rural St. Andrew. It just started. I thought it was raining all along, because if we take a look at the live stream, this is the Barbican camera. This was what? An hour ago. They were definitely getting some amount of rainfall. I don't know why it looks like it's glitching. This was what? 7. Let's see. Let me zoom out. Seems to be glitching a bit. Yeah, Barbican the camera definitely glitching out. Let's use the Crossroads camera. Alright, there we go. By the way, keep in mind that this is from Jamaica on YouTube. So subscribe. If I were you, they show live streams of the corporate area, the Kingston Harbor, Flatbridge, you name it. Subscribe today so we can definitely see the water running, people in their vehicles going about their business, some persons with their umbrellas or raincoat for sure. And we were definitely getting some amount of rainfall. Let's backtrack a bit. This was at around 4:36 p.m. today. We saw that for the most part it was dry. We were getting some strong winds. You could clearly see the hills of St. Andrew right there. But as the afternoon progressed, we saw the rainfall coming in. Some light to moderate rainfall for sure at around 4:58 p.m. So I'm shocked that East Rural St. Andrew hasn't gotten in on any rainfall as yet. And if we take a look at the very latest, the live stream, we can still make out what's taking place. Definitely some wet weather taking place. You can see some people with their umbrellas out. Here's one person right here with his umbrella out. 2 persons, I get that person is going to take the taxi going downtown, I believe. But the area is soaked for real. Definitely some amount of rainfall taking place as we speak. Looks to be more on the lighter side of things. Windshield wipers definitely on. Hope all of these persons get home safely, because boy, we don't want anything bad to be happening at all. Alright. Marty, they're in Crossroads. They call it Crossroads for a reason. They're going to be walking in the street. Trust me. It's not safe to be out now for real, Ricardo. The tropical storm is just getting started. If you're just joining us on the live stream, please ensure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you go to our channel, you'll definitely see what's happening. We show videos every single day of Jamaica's weather, and you see the content that I've been posting. Definitely very informative. And when it comes to these type of systems, I'm going to start bringing back the live streams in general, especially when we're getting closer to the landfall. We know these systems can be lots of bad weather, flooding, you name it. And I like to give out the very accurate information. So if you haven't subscribed as yet, subscribe today. Some of you guys might be standoffish about subscribing to the channel, because you know that my videos are very long. I know that my videos are very long. I know that. I apologize for that. But at least I do something that benefits you all. If it's a long video, 40 minutes like this one that I posted yesterday, I've added timestamps in the description of the video as well as in the comment section. So you can just search for the timestamps, or you can use this tool right here to fast forward. Nobody's forcing you guys to watch my introduction. People are saying my introduction is too long. The introduction is 50 seconds long. I know. I have to introduce myself. I have to let you know what time it is. And I have to reiterate that the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to the persons who are liking the videos. They're pushing out to those persons who like this kind of content, or those persons who are in the path of these tropical systems, so that we can keep everyone safe. And I always say, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. The peak of Atlantic hurricane season is between August and October, right here, as we can see here. I don't know why people are thinking that I'm saying that hurricane season runs from August to October. No, I know that hurricane season runs from June to November, but I'm talking about the peak. The peak is from August to October, as we can see here, as we rise up on the mountain. So that's what I'm talking about. And I also say, share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren. That's everybody. I'm pretty sure that encompasses everybody. Your friends, your co-workers, if you're working at work, your relatives, so that's your family, and even your church brethren. That encompasses everyone in general. Share it with them. The weather is everybody's business. That's what people don't understand. People are saying that, oh, no, it's not about the weather. People are only interested in weather when there's a storm threatening. But the weather is everybody's business. That's what we need to understand. That's my tagline. The weather is everybody's business. Not only when there's a storm, but in order to do business, to get things done, to go, to transport yourself, whatever the case may be. Alright, look at this, man. The system is definitely getting its act together. Look at it. Boy. Guys, I'm gonna try to keep the live stream running all night, but I don't think it's going to be staying on all night. First of all, the moment I get a power outage, everything is going to go, because that little power bank that I have, battery backup, I think it's going to last me at least a good 30 minutes if I continue to use this TV and laptop. But what I want to keep on is the internet, and the internet boxes, they don't use that much electricity. So I think the internet, if I turn off all of these devices, when we start to get the power outages, the internet could last a good 2 hours, or if not 2.5 hours more. And then I could just use my other laptop with a fully charged battery in the meantime to continuously post updates. And boy, Rafael is definitely doing his thing. Look at the deep convection. As a matter of fact, I want to load up the infrared satellite images. Let's see if I can find it. The wide Atlantic infrared. This right here, because the visible is out of here. We're going to be highlighting how treacherous the system is starting to look. Starting to look a bit menacing. Starting to look a bit frightening. It's starting to have that comma-like shape that most tropical storms have in general. Look at that. So we'd say the center of the circulation is somewhere within this side, and the system is expected to push this way towards the northwest. Jamaica is already getting a somewhat of rainfall from east to the central portions mainly right now. But look at the heaviest thunderstorms, the reds, the blacks, the grays, the pinks. That's just ridiculous amounts of rainfall. Not seeing a lot of lightning in the core of the system here. We see some lightning right here to the west of Jamaica, the sparkling white dust. We see some lightning right here to the far south of Haiti right here. That's what we're seeing right now. But boy, throughout the night tonight, we're definitely going to be in for it. Lots of flooding, lots of heavy rainfall. We spoke about the accumulated precipitation forecast maps from both the meteorologics website as well as the Weather Nerds website. Jamaica is definitely going to be getting it for sure. Let's reload it and see what happened. Alright, there we go. So earlier today, the GFS was showing most of the rainfall for southwestern Jamaica. Now it's starting to come in line with the latest from the meteorologics, showing that the heaviest rainfall should be across eastern Jamaica. Look at the salmon colors representing all the way close to 10 inches of rainfall for section of St. Thomas, Portland, as well as southern Jamaica getting on a lot of rainfall too. This is definitely a bad situation in general. We're in for a lot of flooding tonight, guys. Get ready for that. The GOAT, you can't ask me, the boss. The GOAT states, are those people aware of the storm? The GOAT, you can't ask me, boss. These people, it's 2024 and we'd expect everybody to have maybe social media, have a phone, and be informed with the internet or on television. But we can't be sure or speak for everybody. Even we go out and ask, there are many people who are not sure that there was a storm coming. They didn't know at all. What you said, the new update is out now, Fabian? Alright, let's see. Because I was expecting it at 7 p.m. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we have it. The latest update from the Hurricane Center. Just updated it. Alright, there we have it. So we're starting to get in on that turn. So it's now pushing towards the north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. Not much change with the wind speed. Still a low-end tropical storm, packing maximum sustained winds of 70 or 45 miles per hour, rather. Still having Jamaica under a tropical storm warning. Still having the Cayman Islands under a hurricane warning. Still expected to become a hurricane winds to the west of the island 1 p.m. on Tuesday. So not much change at all. More than likely the next drastic change would be at the 10 p.m. update tonight. So within the next 3 hours for sure. And we're going to be keeping this live stream going all the way up until then. Alright, so let's see. Any more comments? What's the weather like in you guys' area? Kwani did not get moderator. How come? But I'm sure that I put you as moderator. What? Alright, I think I just did know. Alright, sorry about that. Mia stating rain outside right now. What parish is that, Mia? Alright. $150 miles south of Kingston. Yeah, there's no change. Still 45 miles per hour winds, Fabian. Thanks for letting me know about the update, Fabian and Sarah as well. Usually they come out with the update at 7 p.m. Nice to know that they delivered this one a bit before time. That's what they should always do. Because boy, well, the meteorological service, I'm reading a chat here from Bob Pham. He stated, hope no one is at Pedro Keys. Well, the meteorological service stated that anybody who's down there should actually get back to the mainland because there's a tropical storm warning affecting the island. There's a tropical storm that's going to be affecting the island. Meteor Mundo states that it's going to be a category 2. We'll see about that. Hopefully not. Because boy, it's another good YouTube channel that we all need to follow, Meteor Mundo. Kid Johnny, you've been waiting for a reply for an hour. A reply to what? What did you say? Sorry about that, my boss. You need a reply on what? That's what I want to know. It's raining in St. Thomas right now, states Melva Drisdale. We have Anne-Marie Percy stating light shower or light rain in Spanish Town. Cecile Forsyth, Ocho Reyes raining. Felicia Bag Knoll stating just a little rain on and off here in Anato Bay, St. Mary. Yes, Jay, my boss. I saw the rain on the crossroads cam. Akim Harriet stating beer rain. What parish is that, Akim? Let me know. Yes, Jay the Wolf is definitely coming together because, boy, this latest infrared satellite image, this looks ridiculous. This looks very ridiculous. The system is definitely trying to get its act together before it comes to the island in general. You know, I'm gonna record something for a sec. I'll be right back, you guys. I think I'm going to continue the live stream. If not an hour from now, maybe 2 hours from now. Okay? Yeah, definitely. I need to go and record something quick.